Hello and welcome. I'm Mercy, the Game Master at HereThereBeMonsters. We're here playing in the Kingdom of Rin in our custom campaign setting. An unlikely combination of Paladin Captain and the local Thieves Guild dispatched the party to the ruins of Old Capstone. While the church and militia have been focused on the goblins to the north, new intelligence indicates that the frontier town may be in more immediate danger from orcs to the south. Protected by the Serpent Spine Mountains and their patron deity, the human kingdom of Rin has known peace for hundreds of years. Despite the best efforts of local watchmen, clergy, lords, and the king himself, that is all changing. Pirates off the coast, rumors of a food shortage, strange happenings in the mysterious forest in the south, and attacks on the kingdom's newest village. Alandite the Paladin arrived at Capstone with his childhood friend Skabosh in tow. Far from how he envisioned his first official charter from the church, he is responsible for helping Skabosh pay off her debt to society through community service. He assembled a small team of misfits and set out on what he assumed would be unimportant work. Little did he know, he would find himself between two incoming invasions.
The peace was lasting, long and true, from mountains to the ocean's blue. Man and elf and dwarf and gnome lived together, hearth and home. The cities grew, then kingdom came, the wise and true. Long may he reign. From cult to church, the truth was spread. The heretics were filled with dread. First they lied, and then they stole. The peace we had, no longer whole. They sought to kill and undermine, but truth was found before the time. We banished them, all but a few, then built ourselves a kingdom new, no longer marked by war and sin. Banar did give his grace to men. No gods, nor fiends, not great nor small, can penetrate his peaceful wall. From mountains to the ocean's blue, this peace will last us long and true.
The party set out from the town of Capstone to scout around for the orcs and see if there is any truth to the rumors. Upon leaving the city, once they got a handful of miles away, the area around the town of Capstone was struck by multiple funnel cloud storms. The party decided to push on with their errand because they figured there wasn't really much they could do against the raw power of nature or acts of gods or whatever is going on. And they continued on their path to the ruins of Old Capstone, which is kind of the general area that they're supposed to be scouting. They slept that night under a rock overhang, spent the next day traveling in relative peace because the storms in the area were kind of keeping everything else out of their hair. And they decided to force march the last little bit of the day to arrive at the ruins. They showed up, and as they came staggering into town, many of them kind of on their last legs, Alandite the Paladin actually did collapse from exhaustion. So the party spent a little bit of time scouting around, trying to see if the area was safe, and then ultimately decided that they wanted to get inside, away from the wind and rainstorms that have been going on, and just somewhere to spend the night in relative safety. And when they did so, they climbed up these stairs and were met, to their surprise, with eyes. A little gnome standing at the top of the stairs, looking out through the doorway of these ruins. And that's where we left off. So, oh yeah, I can emote. Ah. You hear a small voice, or at least small to most of you, call out, who goes there?
Hi, I'm Roberto Brio. We were sent here to look for some orcs, but I was kind of hoping to find some of my own people. Have you heard of the Brios?
Make me a sense motive check really quickly.
Oh no.
Oh,
I promise this guy behind me isn't dead, alright? He's just snapping.
We kind of had to force March. He's a bit tired.
Excellent. Okay.
Oh dear.
That would be a 0.
Of course it is.
Starting off on the right foot today.
Yep. He narrows his eyes at you and steps back just a little bit, kind of a little bit further behind the door jamb, and says, "I'm Abraham. We were not expecting anyone else to be showing up around here. You all look mightily armed. We're kind of busy here. I would prefer if you would just leave."
We can't do that.
We work with the authorities from Capstone. We were sent out here to investigate some orcs.
I assure you, we mean you no harm.
You're lucky he has better sense motive than you do. He kind of looks you guys up and down, and he can, because you brought Alendite up there, right? You were like hefting him into the building.
Yeah.
I was.
He just kind of not like particularly threateningly. It's more like he's almost actually kind of like falling away from you a little bit. But he just kind of like grabs like something sharp from the ruins and kind of like holds it out in front of himself and says, "And what did you do to that guy?"
Well, it was a very long journey to get here, and we are kind of on a timetable, so we may have pushed a little too hard for some of our party members to handle.
He's lunch, says chat. All right. You hear a bit of commotion. It's not anybody that's trying to be particularly cautious, so you don't need to roll like a listen check or anything. And a second gnome actually kind of steps out and like nearly pushes her way past him, and like looks at everybody very, very quickly. Her eyes are wide, almost kind of crazed looking, and she says, "Abraham, stop! We need help." He's still looking at you guys, but he kind of like holds his arm back behind him and kind of tries to like shush her without looking away from you guys.
What's happened that you need help for?
You haven't yet. You can go ahead and make a sense motive check also if you'd like.
It's not going to be good. I'll tell you that already.
I have a feeling it will be better than mine.
Sense motive. Okay. A little better than Roberto.
Do you at least have a plus?
That is a 10.
No, you don't. Okay, but a 10 is generally kind of the baseline for at least like some information. So looking, you can't see super well. The light's not great, but he looks less scared and almost more withdrawn. And he starts to try and kind of like muster himself up and kind of bluster a little bit. He's like, I don't know. This is we're taking care of things on our own.
It doesn't look like it.
And she kind of like, she doesn't push him away. It's not aggressive, but she kind of like lays her hands on his shoulders and says, "Abraham, that's not true." And he starts one more time to try and kind of like hold his stick out, and then he just like collapses in tears.
Have you seen orcs around here?
I'm assuming you're talking to her.
Yes.
So, like I said, she's much more, not upbeat, but high energy than him. She's like kind of skittish, kind of looking around everywhere. She's not taking a defensive posture, but you can see she's just kind of like getting amped up. She's like, I'm so glad all of you are here. We didn't know what to do. Orcs? No, I haven't seen any orcs around here, but we have a different problem. We have a much more immediate problem. She kind of like hesitates for just a quick second, and then there's just like a flood, and she starts talking about how they're here with there's a second group of them, and there are a bunch of storms that rolled in, and I don't I guess you said you came from Capstone, so maybe you know about the storms also, but right before the storms came in, somebody else from the group that was working in a different part of the ruins came over and told us that Manfred had gone missing, and we were just gathering up our things to go and find him. And then she kind of looks like pleadingly at the little folk that are with you, and is like, "But we couldn't go outside, and now it's been almost a whole day, and we don't know what to do."
Slave just disappeared. As far as you're aware, like you have no idea where they might have gone.
Make one more sense motive check.
Okay.
Hey, there
That's
you go.
17.
Ooh, nice.
Okay. And she's like, well, we might know where he's gone, but I don't know if I can tell you.
I cast friendly face on myself. Listen, believe me, we're only here to help and to gather some information. We're just doing what we can to help those around us. We could help if you gave us any bit of information.
And remind me what friendly face does. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm assuming it's like 5 charisma or something.
A +5 circumstance bonus on diplomacy and gather information just to make myself seem friendlier.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll diplomacy.
Sure. Nice.
I mean, with friendly face, you at least don't make it worse. What's your total bonus?
13 total. So,
Okay.
not terrible.
Yeah, and she's not particularly hard to convince kind of in this emotional state that she's in. So she looks you all up and down one more time, and then you actually see another figure comes up the stairs behind Ava, a human male. And he looks spooked also, not quite in the same way that she does, but everyone's definitely very much on edge. And she kind of gives him a look and looks down at Abraham, and he gives a little solemn nod, and she says, "Well, we don't know what we found. There's a lot of people in different parts of the ruins looking for different things, and our other group just sent message saying that they'd found something, and something buried under one of the houses on the other side of town, and they were gonna go in to see what they could find, and it didn't really sound all that special or anything, so we just kept working here on what we were doing, and then Naud here showed up, and she indicates the guy that came up the stairs behind you all, and told us that they couldn't find Manfred. He's been gone almost a whole day now.
Rubato,
Yes,
was this where your family was heading?
it might have been. What was it that they found? I look at the female gnome really seriously. We were looking for something.
she kind of puts her hands on her hips. She's like, well, isn't that a bold thing to ask? And who are you again?
My name is Rubato Mente Perduto del Hombre Brio. I was heading south this way with my family, and I haven't been able to find them. We were on the way looking for artifact. Something specific. But I haven't seen them since.
She just kind of like scoffs, like, yeah, you and every other gnome in the area, but you have an old name, much like mine, actually. Forgive me. My name's Marta, and you recognize that actually as an old Calidarum name.
That sounds familiar. Yes, Marta.
Not that you necessarily know her, but like you,
Right.
It's not a normal contemporary gnome name. And you see her features kind of soften a bit, and she's relaxed to have even just some sense of familiarity. These are simple folk; they're not adventurers in the way that you guys are. And she says, "Well, you have to promise. If there's anything important there, we still get at least most of the credit for it."
We don't care about credit. We are working on other matters that are far more important at the moment.
Yes. Disappearances are very important, though.
No, they are, but we don't need credit for discovery.
Well, in any case, we're not going to be able to do anything tonight. Is there perhaps a room here for us to rest tonight?
The guy behind you now is like, yes, that's it's far too, because it's still not great weather out, right? It's not like tornadoing, but it's still pretty windy and overcast. So he starts kind of like ushering the rest of you up the stairs and says, there's not much here. I mean, they're called the ruins of Old Capstone for nothing, but there's a bit of a roof, and wood is a bit softer than stone.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
Sounds good.
Yeah, just kind of ushers you guys further in.
I'll drag along Dyden with me.
Yeah, careful. Depending on how bright the room that you're in real life is, you may or may not be able to tell, but there are actual like holes in the floor and everything, so it won't like deal damage to your character, although that would be pretty sweet if it did.
Define sweet.
It would be impressive from a technical standpoint.
That might work a little bit. Remember, I'm mighty squishy.
So now to actually like does have a bit of a sack over his shoulder, and he comes over here to kind of this area and lays down like some leaves and shrubbery and like moss, and just kind of like generally makes a little bit of a soft spot. Like that was what he had been working on when you guys showed up. He's human sized, so not in quite as much danger from the recent weather. Obviously it's still not great, but let's see. I guess Marta at this point is kind of coddling, but in a sweet way, Abraham, and kind of just like walks him over to put him down to sleep, and says, "You've been taking too much of this on yourself. We'll leave Nod to handle these folk." And they kind of just like start to bed down in their little corner here.
Okay.
Ska, I don't recall there being an old capstone. There's two?
Yes, there are two. I don't know much. Well, what would I be able to tell about Capstone?
I mean, make a local or knowledge history check, whichever.
So I grew up in the area. Oh.
Yeah, do you have that?
Yeah, that's an 18. Well, plus int?
Well,
No.
if you don't have points in the skill, 10 is the best you can get on knowledge.
Okay, well, never mind then. I don't know anything.
Well, no, it's not that you don't know anything, but you just can't exactly teach a college level history class on it.
It's just kind of funny because, like, I literally grew up in Capstone.
I mean, right now, IRL, like, what can you tell me about the history of Sandpoint?
Good point.
Rude.
I also didn't grow up in Sandpoint, but...
No, but you've been here for 10 years now.
True.
And you gotta, this is 50 miles away, like, during a medieval period, so it's pretty far away.
So far.
Okay, so what was the actual question that she's answering? Just kind of like broadly, you're confused as to why they're talking about a second city.
Why there's an old Capstone.
I mean, so all you know is that the area was largely uninhabited, at least as far as like civilized areas go. Forgive me, my energy drink catching up with me. Until the modern town of Capstone started being constructed, like 20, 30 years ago, like pretty recently. And ever since, at least from a human perspective, like ever since humans moved into the area, this area has always been ruins, like as far back as people really know.
There isn't really much that I can tell you, Rubato. Humans, my people didn't really start populating this area for like, it's been about, it's relatively young, about 20 to 30 years old. So this area has always been the old ruins of Capstone.
Huh. Strange.
Do you have on Rubato knowledge? I think it's called engineering.
No, when I filled out my character sheet, I wasn't sure what stuff to put in for knowledge, even though it's a class skill, so the only thing I have there is Arcana.
Okay. Go ahead and make a knowledge engineering check anyway. Since you can still get a 10 at least.
Nope.
Awesome. Okay. Carry on.
But no, these were not the ruins we were going to.
Well, you weren't looking for ruins. You were looking for a vibrant city.
Right, that's right, yeah. We're looking for an artifact.
Yeah, so neither of the population centers, new or old, that you found really seemed to match the description of what you were sent to find.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
So now, while you guys were chatting, he kind of went over and briefly checked on Alendite, and lays out his little sack that he's now emptied there, and kind of scoots Alendite's head over onto it, and then says,
"Yeah, we just walk in and dump him down. That's good enough."
And he just says, they seem to trust you, and y'all seem like honest enough folk. I'm still gonna be keeping an eye out, both on the outside world and on you. Abraham and Marta have been good to me, so in the last day or day and a half has been hard. So I'm gonna do what I can. We don't have much, but you're welcome to find yourself a corner, and maybe you could put someone on watch just kind of to help out.
I was just gonna ask if you wanted a hand.
Alondite is not going to be any good of any watches right now.
No, but I'm great at it.
I think I'll take watch. Just to be safe.
I'd be okay for a watch.
I'm going to go kind of away from the fire light-ish area if they have any and kind of hide in the
Actually, the only
shadows.
light source right now is Rubato.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was me.
I'm going to kind of go over here in the doorway.
Okay.
Or maybe...
Yeah, I don't think we need to spend 20 minutes going through the nitty gritty of the whole camp cycle and whatnot. You can just tell me like who's going to take second watch, and those of you that are watching, is there like, do you want to try and kind of, post up in a certain part of the ruins or like watch a certain area or anything like that, and then we can move
I'm
on.
going to be right where I am on the screen.
I can take a second watch. Maybe I can like take a little, not like a walk around the building, but take a little peek around.
I'll take second watch as well.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. So Skabash and Bahir staying up first, and then Rubato and Ava.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Let me just random encounter this real quick.
It's a white dragon.
There goes the party.
Well, it was nice knowing you guys.
Dragon. I saw a dragon.
Oh, throwing dice everywhere.
Do dragons have true sight? I don't remember.
I don't think innately, but it would probably be pretty commonly prepared. All right, those of you that are on first watch, go ahead and make us spot and listen checks. Just make sure if you roll 2 dice at the same time, it's a little bit harder to keep track of for this, so it's probably better to do one and then a second one.
This is why I like having my own dice, because I can declare which one is which. I know.
Whichever dice lands further north.
Yeah, that's how I often do it, actually, also.
Well, I'm not going to hear anything.
Our
By
dice
here,
are
you're
helping
free
us.
to
Huh?
roll as well.
I definitely saw something if there's something there.
So you're doing spot second, okay. And by here.
Okay.
I rolled an 11 for my listen, so maybe.
It's not too bad.
We can call that spot. I think they're both the same, so it's not gonna matter, but that'll be, I rolled a 14.
Okay.
One second, I gotta check what mine.
No, you're good. If our second watch people want to
12.
roll as well, you can go ahead and start rolling.
And then the listen's gonna be an 8.
Okay.
Sorry, and then I'm adding this. It's the number in the skill modifier column, not the ability modifier, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that's a 17 for spot.
Nice. Okay.
Oh boy. And
Nice.
a 29 for listen.
First nat 20 of the night.
Beautiful. Not 20.
All right. The first watch goes through. It's definitely a little harder to hear than to see because it's still pretty windy and overcast. I would imagine, even if you have mostly a spot where you're staying, you probably, poke around a little bit and look out through like breaks in the wood and whatnot, and everything seems to be pretty quiet. It makes sense because that was kind of your experience on the way over here due to all the storms that have been coming through. You exchange, you make it about halfway through the night, pass things off to Ava and Rubato. So I'll knock you down just for the sake of keeping track of who's awake and whatnot. I just have one more random encounter to check. Okay, and Ava, you were like 18 spot and 20 plus on listen.
Yeah, I think 17 spot.
Okay.
And like 29 listen.
You hear crickets in the next town over.
I got a 4 spot.
Nice.
Ooh, another nat 20.
Holy heck.
Nice.
So that makes my listen 21.
Okay.
Nice.
So both of you, yet again, like I said, I'm assuming that there's at least a minimal amount of movement going on as you're on watch. And about 3 hours through your watch, both of you, even though you're in different parts of the building from each other, both of you pick up on something moving around outside.
Oh boy. And
with you had like nearly a 30. Like it's definitely coming towards the building that you're in.
okay. Maybe I don't know if it'd be safe to go out and like check.
You are a scout.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
Can we tell which direction?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Absolutely. It is, well, yeah, that's fine. That's easy enough. It's coming from the north.
Which way?
There actually is a small compass rose in the bottom left of your
Oh,
gameplay.
nice. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
If you click on it, you can move it if you want somewhere else.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Oh, I didn't know you could move it. That's actually great. Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I the last time when I was messing with stuff.
I
Okay,
moved my way
so
over there. Yeah, did you hear that?
yes. I think I'm gonna go out and investigate. Do you want to stay here?
Yes, I'll watch your back.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and sneak, maybe and stay. I guess it's pretty dark out, but maybe I'll stay in this that tree line.
Go ahead and move your mini.
Oh yeah, that'd be helpful.
We're not acting in combat, so you don't have to measure out 30
Maybe
foot segments
over
or anything.
there, in the shadows over here, kind of around this building, but not in the building.
Okay.
To the north.
Go ahead and make. Are you continuing to move towards it, or do you just kind of move there and then find a spot to sit? Well, not sit. But,
Yeah, kind of move over there and kind of
Okay.
sit
So
there
go ahead and make a
listen.
hide check.
A hide check. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
It'll still announce
Jeez.
for you. There you go.
okay. That is a 26.
Jeez. Okay. And so do you want to be kind of in the trees or more up against the building?
I'll go ahead and move up against the building. I think that's better for
Okay.
this. I can move. my
Yeah, so you
character
find
in,
some, you're pretty small and there's kind of piles of rubble there and stuff. So you can kind of squat down and camouflage yourself. You see very clearly, trying to be sneaky, but not in any expert way. But you see a small bipedal figure kind of furtively picking its way. Can you actually see that? Is that showing up?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Kind of furtively picking its way through the ruins and then makes its way over out of your sight behind the trees towards the building where you were.
Okay. Can I tell from my distance that I'm assuming, is this oh no, wait, this isn't the gnome we met earlier in the house, correct?
No, it is coming
Okay.
from elsewhere towards the building that you were in.
Gotcha. Okay.
But you could make a knowledge local check to try and identify it. If you don't have that written down, it would just be your dice plus intelligence, and then 10 would be the best result you could get.
Okay. Yeah, I could do that. So roll plus intelligence. That'd be a 13.
Okay.
Not bad.
You know, it's possible in the darkness it could potentially be like a goblin or something, but it's definitely not like an orc or anything that size. It's like a goblin or a gnome or a halfling or, you know, something in that size category for sure.
Okay. Do I see like anything like worrisome about their behavior, or just I don't know, just kind of picking through the rubble, like looking for something?
No. Like picking their way through the rubble. So like they're
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, they are traveling towards the building where you were.
Okay.
Now, I know I can't see them, but could I hear them still approaching?
Yeah, I'm just going to keep using the same lesson check for that. Because they're I don't know, I guess they're sort of sneaking, but you know, we're not exactly talking about like a level 10 rogue here or anything. So
I'm standing up there preparing myself to either wake everybody up or cast a spell if needed.
Yeah, and actually, if that's where you're watching from, you can probably see, because you also had a good spot check, right? You had like a 16 or something.
It was like a 12 or 13, somewhere in there. It was okay.
Okay. Well, you also get a +2 when you're looking in a certain direction and you identify the direction. So you have probably a 14 or 15 then. So
no, it was like a 4.
Oh. So probably, well, there isn't really anything for it to hide behind right where it is right now. So you actually probably still see it, honestly. Numbers be darned, I think. That being said, we're not exactly acting in combat order, but what are you thinking, Ava? Do you want to try and follow it? Do you want to try and loop back around the other side of the building to warn people?
I think I'll try to follow.
Okay. Sneakily or speedily?
Are they moving at a quick pace or kind of slowish?
Yeah, slow to medium. They're definitely not like running or anything like that.
Okay, maybe can I like look up? I don't know. Can I like make my way this way and
Making my way.
make eye contact with Roboto from the window and just kind of like give him some hand signals that I'm going to go ahead and follow? Or is that too far of a stretch?
We could, but that's going to be like a whole other round of checks. So it depends on kind of what it is exactly you want to try and accomplish with that. If it's worth it.
Alon died with no hand signals.
Yeah. I was thinking, since I can't see anything, but I can hear it coming around the side of the building, I would go and wake up Ska.
Okay.
Okay. Then I'll just sneakily like follow behind.
Okay.
Come on, wake up. Something's approaching.
So you kind of make your way through the ruins and manage to get just far enough around the bush that you can see it. You know, you're just kind of barely keeping eyes on it, right?
Yeah.
So you make it over there right as it kind of starts to disappear around the bush, and then you wait maybe 10 or 15 seconds, and then you probably would want to move up again.
Something's approaching from the
yeah, there you go.
From the doorway.
No, it's just it keeps down.
Yeah.
That's because I'm crouched. Never mind.
Yeah, your mini stance is like very aggressive.
What's going on?
Yeah, you're standing.
No, you were talking to Discord.
No, I was muted. All right,
No, I can't.
Roboto,
See
what's
it.
going on?
There's someone's approaching. They're coming from the north around the building to the east. I can't tell what it is though.
All right, let me check it out. So Spot.
Ava's out there right now.
Probably more listen at this point because it's kind of like up against the side of the building, the east side of the building now.
All right, that's a 19 to listen for whatever it is coming around the building.
Okay. Yeah, you can hear it coming too. You hear the sounds of what presumably is a single small or medium-sized creature like coming towards your building.
Can I suss out like which direction it's coming towards to like head it off?
It's coming around the east side of the building from the north. Like essentially, it's coming towards the stairs that you guys came up.
All right. Is that gap actually there?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna move / sneak into that little area
What little area?
over here. This little.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's like the doorway that you came through.
No, I thought this was the door. Oh, that's not the doorway. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna stand in the doorway and I won't actually attack. But I'll be ready to defend myself. Is that a defense? Is that an action?
You could prepare an action to. Well, it's kind of awkward because total defense is a full round action, so you can't prepare a total defense action. But you could prepare to fight defensively.
I do that.
Okay. And Ava, last second thoughts. It's about to round the corner there. Do you want to try and do anything, or are you just gonna keep tailing it?
Maybe I like try to like whisper something or make a noise to get their attention. Like knowing that he's or she is going towards the side of the building where the stairs are, like knowing my friends are potentially sleeping upstairs.
Okay, so you're trying to get its attention or your friends' attention?
Its attention.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so just make a I mean, I'm assuming at that point you just want to like yell, right? There's no
Yeah, I
whispering
guess
here.
so. Let's do it.
So make a Constitution check. So roll your d20 and add your Constitution modifier just to see how like loud of a yell or sound or whatever you can make.
Okay. 8 plus.
It should be in your top stat block, just your Constitution modifier.
8 plus 1, 9.
Okay. So,
You guys.
yeah, you essentially just like talk. Maybe surprise yourself a little bit. It's like, oh, that wasn't quite what I meant to do, but but it's still you hear almost like a little like eep, and it like turns around and faces you, and then like turns around and like runs up the stairs.
Oh, okay.
Where do you think you're going?
Because you're still just right in the doorway, right?
Yep.
Hello.
Oops, I almost did knockdown, although that would have been funny. It's just a fainting goat. So, yeah, like kind of almost looking over its shoulder, it comes like scurrying up the stairs. Do you actually say that?
Oh yeah. I
So-
totally say that with my hooded masked face. All they see are eyes.
So they like and like turn around and start like running down the stairs again, but like fall like off the edge just a little bit because they're small.
I just shout, Ava, coming back your direction.
We've got a runner.
Well, more of a faller.
So okay, yeah. So if you want to actually try and like chase it down, then we can roll initiative and act in turns for at least for a minute here.
Do we think we should wake up Marta and
Yes, we should do that. The more people involved, the better of a chance of catching whoever this is.
It was Abraham and
oh yes, Abraham.
Marta.
I'll go and wake up Marta.
What did
Marta.
what did I just roll?
I
think 8.
Yeah, it was an 8, but I don't know what you were rolling.
Well, initiative. If we're chasing it down.
Oh, okay.
I rolled a 14.
Got it.
Total.
Oh.
Oh.
We are doing. Okay, I'll wait. Do that then.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Well,
Well done.
Natural 20 for Rubato's initiative.
that is a 20 even.
That fat +or-0. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So for now, let's just stick with the people that were awake. So that's a 20. What was yours? 13?
14.
14?
Wait, where did it go?
Okay. It's fine. I'm just gonna clean it up.
No, the person. Like, I thought they just fell down the stairs.
Yeah, they're right. Your character might just not be able to see them. It actually does draw a line of sight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So Rubato is waking up Marta.
Yep, I was going to go wake up Marta.
Okay. And I guess he'd be asleep by now. Okay. So she wakes up with a start, and it's like, what is it?
Marta, somebody, I think it might have been another gnome, just came creeping up here, and we caught him on watch, and they went running away. So anybody else would have been coming up here in the middle of the night?
She reaches over and shakes Abraham up.
What?
And he's like, what's going on? And she says, I think I think blasted Ambrose or Brigitte tried to come over here, despite all the wind and everything. We gotta go get her before gotta go get them before they get hurt.
All right, well, if that was Rubato's move, I'm just gonna
that was my
head
turn.
Down the stairs.
And then she gets up and comes to the doorway.
All right, well, I can see her from there, so I'll just shout, "Wait!"
Okay. Are you doing anything else, or just?
Backstab.
We're friends of the gnomes.
Oops, that's not what I wanted.
Are you a gnome? I'm not used to what gnomes look like. I only know 2, 3.
And we're all related.
So, she, because everything happens at more or less the same time, right? So she's started running away while all that's happening.
Rubato, she's running, or it's running.
But you call out to it, and Marta makes it to the door as well, and calls out, and just says, "It's okay." And the figure stops and turns around. And then I think Rubato is at the top of initiative. Oh, actually, I guess we didn't have Ava roll.
Oh yeah.
Rubato, your people are very skittish.
You have no idea.
And tiny and can run fast for how tiny they are.
But since we just kind of accidentally skipped Ava there, I'll just go ahead and move you up, because presumably you would have kept coming. All right, so you round the building in time to see kind of all of that unfolding, and it's no longer fleeing.
I think just as a gesture of not scaring what presumably is another tiny gnome, I put my daggers away. And just kind of keep my hands visible.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. We didn't mean to startle you. We couldn't see you in the dark.
Are you coming closer, or are you yelling from up inside the building?
I'm working my way closer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll come back. I wasn't sure if we were still technically doing initiative or
kind of, sort of. You managed to get its attention before it ran off into the woods. That was really the main thing, was whether or not it just split and ran completely or not.
Got it.
So yeah, I think for the sake of time, right, we can ditch initiative order at this point. You manage, because that kind of matters, right? Does it run off into the woods or not?
Right. Mm-hmm. We have 2 disappearances.
Right. So kind of cautiously, but he starts to make his way over towards you, and kind of looks you both up and down, and or I guess all 3 of you rather, up and down, and kind of walks past you, not like shouldering past you, but it's, you know, it's kind of a sign of acceptance of like, well, I'm willing to go on a little bit of faith here, and kind of goes like skittering up the stairs to like get closer to Marta.
Good catch, Ava.
Thank you.
At least it was not an orc.
Yeah. Sorry to have woken you.
No. That was the right move, considering Alandite is currently useless to us.
Ouch.
I think he probably has positive hit points again.
Well, yeah,
But
I
he's
mean,
still asleep.
and Alondite would know that was just the socially awkward way of saying like he can't currently help because he's hurt, but other people would have been like, "Ooh, burn."
Right. All right, so they embrace, and after a quick hug, Marta says, "Ambrose, you darn fool! What are you doing? You can't leave Brigitte over there by herself." He says, "Well, I had to find out at least if Nod made it over here, and she wouldn't leave because she didn't want, she was worried that if Manfred came back, there'd be nobody there. And it seemed like the storm was getting better. And who are all these people?"
I'm trying to get back up there.
Well, hello. I'm Roboto Brio. Nice to meet you.
So he like strikes up a small, it's probably not that much light, but strikes up like a small light source and holds it up to look at you all.
Why are gnomes so skittish? I do not understand.
We have a history.
Is it because you are tiny and everything might eat you?
Well, I mean, I'm sure that has something to do with it.
He takes like one small step towards you and kind of blusters and is like, "Well, when your big dwarf friend disappears, one tends to get a little bit scared, and then the world or the gods or whatever's going on tries to pick you up and throw you into the next kingdom."
It wasn't a gnome that disappeared, it was a dwarf.
Who's just kind of like blusters a little bit and says, "Yeah, we're not all gnomes."
You are a strange group.
He puts out his light.
I'm gonna go in and like just check on Alondite.
Okay.
I'll tell you, I'm much happier to know that you're not a goblin or an orc or something. You gave me quite a start, though.
He kind of looks back to Marta one more time, and Marta just kind of nods her head, and he kind of lets his social guard. He wasn't doing anything that was like physically aggressive or defensive or whatever, but like kind of lets his shoulders drop a little bit and just he says, "Well, yeah, you and me both."
I go through Alondite's bag and I pull out his ink and quill and I draw a mustache on his face. I mean, we're like best friends. Like, this is stuff that we do to each other.
Okay. Awesome.
See, look, we're harmless.
Don't worry, he'll pay me back later. I promise you that. He's bigger.
So he goes over, briefly commiserates with Abraham, and kind of says, "Well, maybe y'all can help us. We don't really know what to do. The world went crazy right after Manfred went missing, and I'm just so exhausted. I need to sleep."
Alondite isn't going to be very happy about missing our deadline to return, but I feel like he would also want to help.
Well, I know I do.
Can Ava come up the stairs and be like, Me 3.
Yeah. Yeah, you
And my axe.
you know, probably took a few extra seconds while they're all socializing here to just kind of check the perimeter, make sure there's nothing else moving around out there. You didn't see anything. And then you make it up the stairs right. What's that?
I said, but here wakes up in my sword.
Right. Yeah, actually you probably do wake up to all the talking. And yeah, you make it up the stairs in time to hear them talking about that and chime in and, you know, yeah, let's go.
Mm.
All right, what's this gnome's name? This other gnome?
Yes, there's been a lot of names. So we had Abraham and Marta were the original two. The human is Noud. Noud. And then this is the one that you just met is Ambrose. And then they have reported Manfred the dwarf is missing. And Brigitte, which is presumably the last member of their party, is still somewhere else in the ruins.
Where in the ruins is Brigitte? Maybe a couple of us taller people can go bring them here.
I don't know how someone would react to someone they don't know just showing up, though.
Maybe we bring one of the others with us.
Ooh, nothing like a good escort quest.
So Ambrose says, "No, she won't leave. We're gonna have to do something. Either take her somewhere against her will, or go and find Manfred, or she'll be there. She's pretty, you know, she's been around the block a few times." Both literally because we've been here in Capstone for a while, and also figuratively. I think she'll be okay. And really, I think probably we'll all just be better off in the morning. I don't think that most things have wanted to be out the last few days.
It's kind of understandable, I feel.
Here's to that, and I'll go back to sleep.
Very well.
Okay.
I go back to my little corner.
That was kind of fun. A little bit longer than I had intended to put into that, but I think it gives us a good opportunity to behave in character a little more.
Yeah.
All right, so presumably the people that were sleeping go back to sleep, the people that were on watch go back to watch, and the rest of the night passes uneventfully.
Okay. Daytime, hooray.
The sun rises, the cock crows. Oh shoot, I just realized I never unmuted the sound for Talespire. Whoopsies.
How dare you?
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, right, it's about what we're talking about and whatnot. So everyone rouses, each other. Hears the sounds of.
I meander over to Alonda and just kind of tap his. Well, he's probably not in it. Well, he probably is in his armor because we didn't take it off him. Just
Has it been 12 hours?
I tap him with like a dagger on his to like make the little ting 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 noise.
If it hasn't been 12 hours, I just kind of like don't even react.
No, it has been, right? We just kind of skipped through the nitty gritty of the watches, but because you have a spellcaster and don't have an elf, technically your watches take 12 hours.
Wakey, sunshine. We found some gnomes and a human.
Oh.
New friends.
I think technically you can rotate it to do it in like 9 or 10, but also you were here for a little while, so I think we can round things off and say that it's been long enough for you to be awake. Also, you only have 11 hit points, right? So it'd actually be 11 hours.
But I took... Oh, can I only get a maximum lethal or non-lethal of 11?
If I remember correctly, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have a good way to put... I guess we could just put non-lethal in like parentheses in the HP command in chat.
Oh, yeah,
I hadn't
we
really
could have
thought
done
about
that.
Ooh.
So it just listed him as full health the whole time, because non-lethal is kind of different.
You heal faster as non-lethal too, don't you?
Yes.
It's one.
Yeah,
hit
it's like
point
1
per
HP per hour.
I think it's one HP per level per hour, so it speeds up quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Good thing there were no crossbow accidents in the middle of the night.
Or bear traps.
Or bear traps.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, Ava has a little bit of PTSD from nighttime sneaking.
Yeah, I'm scarred, literally.
Also makes a difference. I would have, as soon as I'm above, -1, or in this case, as soon as I get 9 or 10 HP, I would be awake and not fatigued. So I would have taken my armor off and completed my proper rest.
Yeah, that's
Night.
fine. Because really, you would come conscious again once you regained like 1 or 2 of those non-lethal.
Well, I would assume that your armor is next to you, though. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then I just ting against the armor, like by your head.
I was hoping you just did it to his skin, just right in the middle of his chest.
No.
So yeah, Alan Dyke, you come to in the middle of not a literal pile of rubble, but definitely not where you fell asleep. And there are, I guess, 3 new little folk and 1 human. And you come to kind of just in time to hear the gnomes kind of chattering about how they want to get moving.
Alonda, you're awake. It's been so long.
In weeks.
It's been like 10 days. Yeah, crazy.
Long enough for you to grow a mustache.
It's a very lovely mustache at that.
Kind of just like rub my face. With the ink be dry, and I just like start smudging it, making it worse.
Probably a bit of both, right? Like the outer.
I feel like we need to roll for that. Did the ink dry overnight or not?
The outer casing of it, at least, is a bit exposed. But
Or less than 50% and it dried.
Mm-hmm.
It dried.
It dried.
I don't know. I'm just making that up.
You did roll a D30 somehow.
Oh, dang it. I had muted my mic briefly talking to Pixie about camera angles. I was answering you, I promise.
I was like, that's fine, I'll wing it.
But yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, so that works. So you give it a little bit of a rub, and there's just like a little bit of it's like when if you kind of like rub something textured like your fingers or like the pads of your fingers on ink, you can kind of like rub up little like beads of it. So there's just like a little bit of like dried ink in your hand when you do that.
I
Is
probably
it
just think it's like weird or something, nothing major. I'd leave it.
Is it like a mustache with like the curlies on the side?
Oh yes.
I would have to.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's almost as nice as mine, in fact.
Yeah, I'd start suiting up slowly, but I'd take my time. I'm not talking first thing in the morning after that.
Okay. So I know there are, some of you need to do various workout regimens, meditations, etc. The gnomes are definitely impatient with that whole process, and ultimately maybe 5 or so minutes into that, they kind of like huddle up and say like, okay, you all finished doing what you're doing. Well, now knows where where they were.
Wait.
So be glad you've gone through your stretches. Can't throw a cramp if I'm in a fight,
Are you heading to where the one disappeared?
Yes. Aren't you?
I'll be going with them. I'll scout out for tracks and anything else that might be around
We're
that
not
might
going
help
anywhere.
us.
We're finishing the scouting mission for the orcs, and that's it.
Well, Alondite.
Yeah, Alondite has no idea what's going on.
Alondite, one of their cohorts is missing in an area that could potentially have orcs. Maybe if I go with them to scout that area, I can come back with information about whether or not there are orcs.
Plan
Stay
to go and
safe.
look as well.
And the human friend of theirs is knows where they're going, so they will help you, and I will go with them.
Just stay safe.
Oh, of course, I'm the soul of caution.
Is there anybody else that would like to join this little
That's what worries me.
impromptu scouting mission?
I would, yes.
Well, you need to do your meditations.
Yeah, but I still want to go.
Speed round meditation.
That's if I wanted to go, yeah.
Is there anybody else who is going to leave the building to go scout with Skabosh and the gnomes?
I can go too if you guys want another person, but if it's too many, that's fine too.
As far as players go, that's definitely the most balanced assortment of things.
As far as Skabosh knows, like, we're just going to be still within the ruins, so I'm not terribly concerned.
Okay. I'm just going to grab all of you and... Whee! Oh,
That works.
some of you got stuck on the roof. Okay, there we go. Where's my compass? Northeast. Oh. Oh, well, apparently I picked up a table or a barrel or
You
something.
brought a barrel.
I support
Are we really out for
barrel.
that long? Did we not make it back? What's going on?
All right, I'm gonna roll spot to look for tracks around the area. That's what it is, right? It's not search, it's spot, right?
I think it's spot to see them and survival to follow them, technically.
Okay. Well, a 19 will spot.
Nice.
Very nice.
And this is kind of, I'm assuming, kind of as you guys are like approaching. Not that I'm not moving all of you and half of the props at the same time.
Right.
Actually, I'm just going to delete that barrel because it's annoying me now.
Is this exactly where he disappeared from? They?
To whom are you posing that question?
The gnomes.
Well, so Abraham and Marta just kind of look over to Ambrose, and he says, "Yes, we were exploring this building right over here. In fact, if we stop dilly-dallying here and go in, I'm quite sure we'll find Bridget in there as well."
Very well.
And yeah, you can see there's, it's a little hard to pick up on exacts, and you would definitely need to do some actual tracking or potentially have Ava do some tracking to try and get much more info. But there's footprints kind of all around this area, which is more or less what you would expect. Half of their little expedition party was working over here, kind of exploring this building and excavating and whatnot.
Ava,
Yes.
I think you should do some tracking and scouting around this area to see if there's anything just different from what their footprints would look like. And maybe see if you could discern the dwarf leaving the area, either on his own accord or through a struggle.
Ooh, yes. Okay.
And
Do you think I should do you think I should sneak around the back of the building or to the side of the building?
I can't really tell until I get into the ruins. Probably the side/back. And I'll go into the ruins.
Okay.
See what I can find from there.
Okay. You don't necessarily, we're not acting in, combat order or anything right now, so you can just kind of move around relatively freely.
All right. I'm guessing, would it be search at this point?
Depends on what you're trying to do.
Or just kind of look for anything out of the ordinary that would cause a random disappearance.
Okay. Then more of a spot, and then also you might want to tilt your camera down a little bit. You're getting a little. There we go. A little Nick Marks action.
Oof. That's a 9.
So hearing you talking, the presumably 6th member of our little party here, Brigitte, steps out from the ruins, and it first kind of starts approaching her friends, and then registers a couple of seconds later, like but
Wait.
no. They're not all running away.
You gnomes are very skittish. I'm here with your friends.
Well, and
We're here to help.
you humans make a lot of generalizations, I see.
Who's making generalizations?
I kind of like harumphs at you, and then
I don't remove my face mask, but I do reveal enough of my hood to show my half elven ears.
She kind of raises an eyebrow, but she's like, well, essentially kind of I said what I said. And then the four of them exchange like a quick greeting and a hug and whatnot. As far as Ava goes, let's see, hold on, what side of town are we on? This is east. On the kind of like east to kind of northeasterly area, you do find they look pretty old. Definitely not, because it's just stormed and everything. So not anything that's gone into the mud since the storm, but there are some larger kind of suspicious looking footprints around kind of in the area.
Okay. Maybe I can do like a quick wave, like, hi, I'm Ava, and then start to like meander over this way to kind of like see, like take a further peek to see if I could see anything beyond the tracks.
Okay. And I forget, on Ava's sheet, it'd just be faster for you to look at this. On the second page under feats, does Ava have track? I don't remember.
No.
No? Okay. So you're pretty much like, hi, I'm Ava, and then like go back to what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fitting. So Brigitte is like, hi, and then kind of like, isn't really quite sure what to make of that, and I guess just turns to the rest of the group and is like, what's she doing?
She's looking for your friend, or a sign of your friend, or potential.
She's like, oh, well, that's very kind of her. But I know where Manfred was. I just don't know where he went.
Where was he?
He was. Then she kind of like looks over towards Abraham and Marta. Make a sense motive check. Amazing.
3.
She's like, well, I kind of stammers a little bit, and Abraham says, it's fine.
We want to help, but my big giant paladin friend is not a fan of being lied to.
Liar, some help you folk are. You come in here and like start talking about who I am before you even know who I am, and then now you're calling me a liar.
You seem very hesitant to accept our help by giving us actually.
Well, if you're on the verge of making a major archaeological find, you might be a little bit tight-lipped as well.
I don't care about archaeology.
I
care about helping people. And I care about dealing with evil beings. And right now, we've been trying to do that, but we've stopped to help you.
Says, fine. It's just don't tell anybody.
Who am I going to tell?
And she
really
just
talked
walks
to
away
3
from
people.
you. With like a come hither kind of thing. Like she's not like ignoring you.
Where am I going? Oh.
So you follow her over there and find that they've done a bit of excavating and uncovered a set of stairs that leads down underneath the building.
You're saying he went down these stairs?
Yes, he was kind of the muscle.
Is Ava within earshot?
Am I?
Do we
I
know?
think.
Yeah, I mean, probably, you might have to raise your voice a little bit, but yeah, she's just like one wall and, maybe 40 feet away.
We might need to grab the rest of the group. There's a staircase leading down, and I don't think we should follow it until we have at least a Londite with us.
Say no more. I'm on it. And Ava takes off to go get the rest of the group.
Okay. You can move your mini if you want to, but ultimately I think it's fine to just leave it there.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll get lost.
So, it took a few minutes to get over there, a few minutes to like kind of catch up on what's going on and find the stairs and whatnot. So by the time Ava makes it back over there to you guys, it's been, 20 minutes or so, which I think is enough time for you to have done what you need to do.
All right, I'm gonna hide for 23.
Ava.
Well, move silently only matters if you're moving.
Oh yeah, I was gonna move, but that's an 11.
Or sneak, I guess. Sorry, move silently. I always use the EverQuest term
So that's an 11 for move silent, and I'm just gonna creep my way down the stairs.
This isn't a video game.
for that. I know. So, Naud spots Ava on the way up the stairs. Is like, hello again, little one. I think the rest of us are about ready to move here. Did they? I don't suppose that they found Manfred. That's directed at Ava.
Oh, sorry. No, I don't believe so.
Says, well, I'm not surprised. I didn't think it would be that easy, but it's worth hoping.
Yes, but we did find in the ruins a staircase leading down, which I think we need the full team here or there to investigate further.
Yeah, I was there when we found that. In retrospect, it might not have been the best idea to let Manfred go down there all by himself. But that also was kind of his job, so
I'm gonna lean in closer and say, now, if there's anything important that you need to tell either the group or just myself directly, I'd rather you speak up now before we send in our own group down there looking for one of your friends.
27 to search for traps in this little area.
Okay. What's the total search roll?
27.
Okay. You don't find any evidence of traps at the bottom of the stairs?
Do I guess it's a separate roll. Hang on. 12 to spot tracks or dust footprints and potential dust if there's any.
Yeah, it's pretty dusty. It's not like snow or anything, but you can definitely see the scuffs of a pair of footprints that came down the stairs and went further in.
Yes.
To Ava's question there, he says, all I know is what we found, which was this building seemed to be some kind of. We weren't quite sure, but it's too big to be a house. It didn't exactly look like what I would expect a temple or anything to look like, but it did seem to be some sort of community building, and it's not uncommon for houses to have a second story or a basement or whatnot. But it was just kind of our procedure to send Manfred to go and check things and make sure, nothing was going to collapse, or, there was the occasional, spike here or there that, he was a little more capable of dealing with than we were. So, we'd done it a handful of times since we've been here the last couple of weeks, and never had any issues before this.
Okay. I just don't want anyone getting hurt.
Okay, I'm gonna peer around the corners here.
As I arrive with the group, we're passing through. Do I see anyone who looks like they're more in charge of the situation than anyone else?
Makes sense motive. Also not related to that at all, but while you're rolling, this is kind of fun. It like groups people on the person that I'm grabbing.
15.
And I can rotate you. It's like, whee.
Cool. Yeah, I noticed that I can twirl myself while you're doing that too.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
So I peek around the right corner here with the 12. Do I spot anything around the corners here?
Hold on, let me adjust my view height.
Crap, where'd I go?
I guess that depends on what anything is, but you can...
Something unusual?
You can see what you can see. It's heavy, rough-hewn stonework.
There's a light at that end.
Yeah, it's probably... The light's probably not that apparent. That's a little bit of a Talespire boo-boo there. But you can broadly see, yes, that there appears to be some light at the end of the tunnel.
All right, I'm gonna make my way back to the... I'm making my way... back to the group. I can remember how to do that. Where am I?
That's 15 on the sense motive.
Okay. Yeah, you can see there's a pretty deferential attitude towards Abraham.
Okay, I walk up to Abraham and I kind of lay a sort of dominant, friendly sort of pat on the shoulder and saying, "Fear not, the Paladin of Banah is here to solve your dilemma and protect you." And then I kind of lean in and get a little bit more aggressive. "And if not, he will be very angry with you. But fear not, we're here to help you, right?" And I kind of pat him on the shoulder and walk away.
Alondite. There's something at the bottom of the staircase. There's some light down there. I don't quite know what to make of it.
Make a diplomacy and an intimidate check.
If the intimidate is low, it makes so much sense with that mustache.
Oh my gosh.
That's great. I didn't even think about that.
Oh man.
Diplomacy is +2, and the intimidate also +2.
He just kind of blows it off. Like he's like, all right, Sonny, I surely hope that you're better at fighting than you are at talking. We've got ourselves into a bit of a problem here. As you can see, I think any one of you in your group, other than maybe your gnome friend here, is more equipped than probably all the rest of us combined. So we'd be surely grateful if you could go down there and figure out what in the world is going on with Manfred. I'm assuming he's just gotten himself stuck in something, but he gave us explicit instructions not to go down there. So
Alondite, follow me. Come on.
Can I make a sense motive to make sure this isn't just like he's not like leading us into a trap
sure.
or anything?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know where that dice went, but I got a 9. Well, that's a 7.
You don't see any
Not
like
hard.
obvious signs, at least, of what's the word I want?
Okay.
Deceit.
Are we gonna pick a Londite back up?
Hold on, really quickly. On the way by, so Rubato, you pass through at kind of right at the same
I'm
time
standing.
as.
Oh, weird. Not on my screen.
Oh, weird. Yeah, you want to maybe lay yourself down and then stand yourself up, Malendite, just to see if that fixes it on her screen.
I did that too.
No, I like it that way. Leave it that way.
Well then. All right. Well,
He like scoots his butt down the stairs. Like
Ka-tink, ka-tink, ka-tink.
So on the way by, you catch sight of the last of the gnomes that you haven't seen yet, and you hear like an audible like gasp from her.
Oh, hello there. I don't think we've been introduced.
She sidles up to you. She's putting on some moves, and she's like, "No, I don't think we have. I'm Brigitte, and who are you?"
I give a slight bow and my name is Rubato Mente Perduto Delambre Brio. It's a pleasure. So we're missing one of your party? Have you heard of others missing in this area?
No, we've been here for several 10 days now, and haven't. It's been just us in this part of town. You know, there's other groups working in other parts of town, but certainly nobody as handsome as you's come through here.
Oh well. Well, thank you.
I used the mood dice for all of them, and I rolled double hearts. So
We'll have to possibly catch up a little bit after we find your friend.
she just like straight up reaches out and like twirls your mustache a little bit. And then, hold on, crap. Well, it doesn't matter. It's the same model. Marta comes over and is like, Brigitte, we have things to do. And kind of like interrupts her. Brigitte is definitely a little bit younger than the rest of them. And so she kind of like, Marta rather, kind of like throws a look at Brigitte and then kind of like shoos you away.
I'll see you later. And then I rush off after everybody. Face beat red.
She calls after you. She's like, I can already tell you're going to be my hero.
Where are you?
Did you hear that, guys? I'm a hero.
turn right. Turn right. Come down the stairs. Turn right. Go down the hallway and turn right.
I don't even know. Oh, the stairs are back there. Come on, Ava.
So there's a faint light here, but it's just Talespire being Talespire.
Well, sort of. So there is light that you can see. It's just not quite as obvious or as bright as that. Yeah, so it's not like it shouldn't be shining through the stone wall
Got it.
like
okay.
that. But when you were standing down at the end of the tunnel, or well, I guess not the end of the tunnel, but when you were standing at that crossroads where Bahir currently is, and you looked around, like when you looked left, it was really dark, and when you looked forward, it was really dark, and when you looked to the right, it was like a bit brighter.
Okay, I'm gonna have to relog because I'm definitely
No, that's
not
fine. I was actually gonna call for a break anyway. So I think this is a perfect opportunity to have you and potentially Pixie relog real fast, and take 5 or so minutes to stretch your legs, go to the bathroom, whatnot.
Why do I?
Because I'm standing technically right in front of Bahir and beside Pixie, but it's not showing Pixie.
Well,
You
it's
don't
not
see her at all?
It's not showing
Interesting.
you between us either.
Yeah, I see you. Like everything, all of you look fine from my perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's fine on my end.
Well, let's take our break, relog, see what happens.
Yeah, and it's also worth just a quick like metagame point here. I think we're doing fine, and I'm definitely having fun acting in character a little bit more than we have been. But we probably have like an hour and a half to 2 hours of playtime left, so let's just I don't think we were doing anything wrong, but just when we come back, let's make sure that we also keep an eye to the clock as far as getting things done.
Yes, master.
Sounds good.
All right, what time is it right now? It's 15. Let's try and make it back, get as close to 20 as we can. Cool. Thank you, guys. Yeah, this is fun. Thank you all so much for being here. Like I said, we're going to take a 5-ish minute break. If you haven't been up off your booty in a little while, I'd recommend that you do so as well. We'll come back here with the investigation of what is going on in this deceptively large underground area underneath this building that they've found. For anybody who's just tuning in or who was gone for a little bit, the party met up with this group of gnomes and co that were excavating and exploring the ruins of old Capstone. TLDR, we had a couple of social interactions and a little bit of a fright that somebody was sneaking up on the party, only to find out that the party's the NPC party's hired muscle has gone missing underneath this relatively innocuous looking civic building. And when the party went down below, it turns out that what's down here is a lot more than what they expected, at least from what they've seen so far.
All right, I rolled search for traps. That's a 24 total.
Okay. As you kind of make your way around the room, you take your hurrying, but being as cautious as you can be at the same time. There doesn't appear to be anything particularly. Oh shoot! Thank you. My chat got paused somehow. No, the music was not still supposed to be playing. You can also zoom out your camera probably a little bit. There you go. And it's fine too, but just so you know, your vision won't be blocked. So the room is fairly spacious for an underground space, and certainly compared to the stone halls and whatnot, it appears to have been probably some kind of library or study or some such thing. Although the bookshelves and whatnot are notably empty.
Is the thing on the desk here actually here?
Yes, that is the one exception as far as any written word stuff goes. And
is there a nice... Oh, sorry.
As you kind of finish your counterclockwise search of the room, you can't help but note the fairly advanced mechanics or advanced looking mechanics of this large lever that's embedded in the wall to the left.
Roboto. Roboto.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You things and stuff and things that I'm a rogue. I stab things. What is this?
That appears to be a book.
Obviously.
Also, the fire is burning and is warm and bright, but there is no smoke.
Interesting. Is
there a rug in here?
Yes. Yeah, this room is like pretty representative.
Is the rug nice?
It is, yeah.
I'm gonna start to roll the rug up.
Immediate pilfering. Okay.
Yeah.
I approve of this message.
I like that rug. It's nice and it's got a big sun in the middle of it.
Should I pick up these papers and put them in my bag, Roboto?
Let me take a look. Let's see what's on these.
Don't touch
So I'll take a-
anything yet. Look at it first. Make sure that a professional knows what's going on.
That's why I called Roboto in here.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. I'll take a look at the
I
books and
stab,
papers here.
He looks at the smart things.
The banners and stuff on the walls, are they actually there, or is
Yep.
it?
Yeah, this room is pretty much exactly how it appears.
Can I do a knowledge religion on any
yeah,
of the
sure.
symbols and checks?
I'll do knowledge local. Oh wait, I can only get a 10. Never mind.
As you guys get close to that desk, I can't actually get it to go under there, but there's like a skittering and a like scrabbling of feet, and like a rat goes like squeaks and like goes running out past you.
A rat.
Oh, okay. I thought that was something else.
Big rat.
It's a
Yeah,
rat.
there's no small sized rat in Talespire. It's like, okay.
I will go back to inspecting the books
There's
and
a skeever.
see if I can
That was
read.
a 22 knowledge religion checks.
Beautiful.
And what specifically are we examining with that?
If these symbols, from my studies as a paladin, if I've seen anything like this through my religious studies, that they bring anything up, if they're familiar to me in any way, in any religious manner.
The banners and the carpet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
And the symbol.
well,
in
here
front of
rolled
the
up
table.
the carpet.
I'm rolling it up. My carpet.
Okay. And are you trying to accomplish that before Rubato starts leafing through the papers, or is this all kind of happening at the same time?
At the same time.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say same time.
All right. Let me message both of you in Discord really quickly. You can obviously choose to share or not as you please, but
Oh, and if it matters, it's a 22, a natural 20 plus 2.
Natural 20.
and that's for, I thought you said 27.
No, it wasn't that high. It was a natural 20 plus 2.
Got it. Okay. So 22 for knowledge religion, and you actually have
Yeah.
knowledge religion, right?
Correct.
Yeah, if this was Critical Role, I'd be whispering in your ears, but that's a little harder to pull off right now.
Whisper to me,
You
Merce.
can drag him to a different channel.
Well, yeah, but chat would still hear me.
Oh, yeah.
Womp womp.
Dang it, chat.
That would be fun, actually, as long as you guys aren't watching chat.
I am.
Yeah, me too. Get Brigado up there. Did you guys talk to her? She's a really nice young lady.
These symbols, they... Hold on a second before you put that away.
Nobody's going to touch on Rubato's amorous new friend.
Wait, what?
Rubato, we have a mission here. Focus.
Oh, I'm focused.
Focus on the mission.
Oh, yeah.
Not,
Yeah,
not,
that-
not the girl. The mission. Girl later. Mission now.
We'll talk.
We are on a bit of a time crunch. Oh,
Just be her pen pal for a bit and then figure it out later.
Did anybody get her phone number? Wait.
She's probably still upstairs. We can get it on the way out.
Okay. I'm going to
this is
start
the phone number you're talking about.
hastily drawing the... Wait, are you actually taking the rug?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Well,
It'll look great in the inn rooms we stay in, if we're lucky enough to stay in one.
You'll be the D&D equivalent of throwing out a red carpet for yourselves to walk down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna copy the symbols on the wall in my journal.
Alondite, what is it?
Well, something about them. I don't know exactly what it is, but from my studies, I can tell that they are religious in nature. I just don't know what. So I want to take a rough copy of this back to the church, to the temple.
Is that just like
see if
a
they
like?
know anything?
Is that just like a cloth banner
Does it give you a
that's
bad
on the wall
feeling?
over there?
Which one? The greenish one or the reddish one?
The greenish one.
Yes,
Looks
the
like
greenish.
red.
The greenish one is like a it textile, like so it's heavier than cloth, but the other one is more of like a metal plate. It's kind
Just
of
roll it up and take it.
kind of like
Well,
embossed.
what's your first instinct, Alondite?
Okay. Well, the plate I'll copy down.
Does this sun?
The cloth I'll take.
Isn't the sun like part of the your god bananas thing?
Definitely doesn't look like banana in any way. It's
Does the
just
sun
a
remind-
rug.
Does it remind me of anything from like where I'm from?
That's just a rug.
You're gonna have to
It's
narrow
a
it down
nice
a little
rug.
bit, but once you do,
I
you
don't
can make
know.
an appropriate knowledge
Like,
check.
do I think it might have came from where I am from?
Make a knowledge, either history or local check, whichever is better.
Okay. I
No,
don't have either. I rolled
No.
an 18, but I can only get 10. So
It's
No, but-
it does kind of look like imagery that you've seen before, but like it's definitely different too. Yeah, the best thing the best way or the best like analogy that I can think of to describe it is like, you know, civilizations from all around the world built pyramids, but like they all did it a little bit differently.
Can
So like
I-
you can see a pyramid and be like, oh, that's a pyramid, but like an Aztec pyramid looks different from an Egyptian pyramid, looks different from, you know.
okay.
So
Got
it's like that. It's like, yeah, it does look kind of familiar, but it's also like definitely not the same.
Can I use
Okay.
disable device to investigate the lever?
Well, it'd be more search to investigate it. Disable device is specifically like interacting with the mechanics of the lever to disable it.
All right, fine. I searched the lever.
Oh.
No, Alondite, if that rug there had the icon of your god, would it just be a rug at that point, or would it be holy sacred text in textile form?
It would just be.
That was a total 20 to search the
it wouldn't
mechanical
be a
lever thing.
divine rug.
Okay, just a sec.
It's not been blessed. It doesn't provide anything holy in any way. It's just
Just food for thought, I guess.
That's a fair
Like, I'm
point.
sure-
Would it be sacrilegious to have such a thing on the floor?
depends on what they would believe. Maybe perhaps to walk on something would be of high praise.
Does depend on belief, I suppose.
Yeah,
Now
it's a
for
good way to
Bana,
look.
to walk on Bana, that is just you don't do that.
Or maybe a rug is just a rug.
This is most definitely just a rug.
It
Very
is a
fancy
nice
looking rug.
rug at that.
Okay, I was finishing sending the info to Mendez also. Obviously, you're not exactly bounding over the plains, but lest we leave you in the dust, is Ava having any thoughts or feelings, or?
No, I'd probably just like listening and taking everything in like quietly. She doesn't have like any. Does she have like some sort of like religious background or no?
She does like venerate a deity. Yes, it's on the top of your.
Oh.
It's in like the top or maybe the second row of your character sheet.
Oh.
I would cast Comprehend Languages and take a little closer look at that book.
Okay, just a sec. I have like three people that have half completed actions now.
Well, of course. I would expect it no other way.
I'm getting Ava's character sheet here. Or at least
the
should be.
Lalabo?
Lalabo, yes.
Okay. Have we heard of that yet?
No, that has not been directly interacted with.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, that is it's one of those things where we might have to do a little bit of retconning as far as how devout or pious you do or don't want Ava to be. Obviously, some of that you can decide right now, but
yeah.
That wasn't a thing, since Ava was originally an NPC, that wasn't a thing that I had like super fleshed out for her. But very broadly speaking, hold on, I'm trying to get my info sheet pulled up here, but Drive is being really slow. Lalabo is the god or goddess. I actually have to go and look. And I don't know what's going on with Google Drive of insight. Normally, like racially, the kind of like the most common deity for halflings would be Snick, the goddess of trickery. But there's certainly no, you're not like bound to that by any means. That would just be the most common. So Lalabo is kind of like more like the patron deity of the gnomes. But Ava has grown up and spent a lot of her formative years kind of in this area around Capstone and whatnot, where there is a much heavier gnomish influence. So that's why she's devoted whatever degree sounds good to you of herself to like venerating that particular deity.
Okay. I guess for this situation, I'll just have her like taking everything in, but when Gabosh talks about like wanting to investigate this lever, she kind of like perks up and maybe gets like a little bit closer to see what this lever is about.
Okay. Yeah, and this is probably also a little bit out of Ava's wheelhouse. Like she's not a rogue, she's not a ranger, she's not like she's a scout. So like she finds things and then goes and like reports back, and then other people do this stuff. So she's probably I like I said, god of insight, right? So like very curious about what's going on, very kind of out of her elements. So I think it's it's a good opportunity. All right, so we had a 20. What was it for searching this?
20 total.
20 total. Okay, dirty 20 though.
Yes, dirty 20.
Okay. And what?
Excuse me.
Like, what are you doing with it?
I'm just investigating. Like, I don't know. I'm just looking at it and kind of.
So yeah, you fiddle with it a little bit. You give it just like the slightest of like jiggle or nudge. You can feel it has a little bit of give to it, like anything that's metal that's not, it's not like welded or whatever. It's like a pressure fit. So you can get like just a little bit of give out of it, but you can tell that it would take some force to actually like work the mechanism. And as you kind of get in real close with it, get your fingers in there, maybe kind of tap some stuff and manipulate a few things with your lockpicks and whatever other trap related tools it is that you have, you can trace that it seems like the mechanism, like once you actually move it, has like it's like a winch essentially that has a spool of rope like embedded in that pillar that goes up towards the ceiling.
As you're inspecting that, you see my eyes like flash a little purple as I'm going over this book.
Is there anything in that book about this lever?
I haven't deciphered it yet, but there might be. There's some drawings and things. Give me just a moment.
I don't mean to rush us or anything, but I don't know if we have time to go through an entire book.
No, I'm not planning on going on through the entire thing. If all else fails, I'll be bringing it with us, but we shall see.
Yeah. So, do any of us have a light source?
I head over to
I
the
have a lantern.
wall while this is going on, and I kind of start tapping, like, to see if there's like hollowness.
Okay. So that would still technically be another search check, but I like the way that you're describing that for sure.
I'm gonna start looking down the hallways to see if there's anything more to this instead of everyone just kind of being stuck in one room.
Yeah, I was gonna say if
That's
I could
a
go
24 total.
Check on the other side of the wall.
Okay.
Yes, you guys go do your loud clinky things. Let me focus for a minute.
Oh dear.
I'll go ahead. I'll follow them. Just the way you said, "Oh dear."
Oh no.
A lot of bodies in here.
I don't like it.
If I search the bodies, do they look? I guess I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have the knowledge of it.
What was the actual spell that you used, Rubato? Comprehend languages.
Comprehend. Yes.
Let me double check the actual description of that.
You can understand spoken words or creatures or read otherwise incomprehensible written messages. In either case, you must touch the creature or the writing. Just get the literal meaning. I can understand or read an unknown language, not speak or write it.
Okay. And how, like, are you like reading the first page top to bottom? Are you like leafing through it? Like, what's your actual action?
Probably just start at the beginning to get a general gist of what it could be. It does specify magical writing cannot be read, though the spell would reveal if it is magical.
Okay. Okay.
So in that case, I grab the book and kind of just tuck it away for the time being and focus on those parchments.
Okay. Yeah, there's just like you can see there's one rolled up, and then there's, I don't know, half a dozen or so, like in a stack off to on the right side of it.
Ska, These parchments don't exactly tell of happy days. There's things in here about sacrifices, and summonings.
All right.
We might want to go and find the others.
All right.
With that, do you want to pause that conversation and move the camera over to where the others are? Hey guys.
Well, I had them over here before.
I don't like this room.
Yeah.
And did you say none of you actually have a light source?
I do. I have a bullseye lantern, I believe.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and light the torch.
Or, sorry, a hooded lantern.
Okay.
I think I have a torch. I don't know.
So
I have 10 torches, actually, so...
As you step around the corner and turn 90 degrees to see into the room, you can see the far wall before you kind of like fully step into where you are now is adorned with like large chains that hang across an opening. And you step into the room and find a rather horrifying sight in front of you. There are remains of who knows how many beings and or of what type they are.
Can I do a knowledge biology and hope for anything higher than a 10?
I think that's technically
or at a 10
local,
max.
but yes.
Can I do survival?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Do I notice that any of them are gnome or dwarven or something of similar size? That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Or if they look like they've been butchered recently.
I got a 16.
16 for survival.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are you doing with that?
I just want to know, like, with survival, let me know, like, how old, like, the bones are, like...
Yeah, I think that's fair because that's how you
or...
track like and kind of age that, or that's how you follow and identify and track like tracks in mud and whatnot. Is I think that's kind of a similar skill set. So maybe like a -2 to it because it's not like exactly what that's for, but
yeah.
Okay, so as you kind of like take this all in, you notice there's there are a few individual sets of remains, and then there's this pile of skulls like off in the back of the room, and then as you really kind of like fully step into the room, there's this just like horrific like bed of bones that sits underneath this like grotesque looking flame. That again has no smoke. You feel heat from it, but there's no smoke emanating from this. And really, as far as you can tell, nothing that it's actually burning. Like that's just like a stone, like geometric shape hanging from that chain that's somehow burning.
Okay. It's not going to do anything. It's more for role play since I don't have any power anymore. But I'm going to.
This is your opportunity to explore that.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have a detect evil and feel if I can have any sort of presence or feel any presence of evil. I'm going to whip out my book and just like start reading prayers of Bana and just like try to cleanse this area of anything. Because I'm definitely, even though I can't feel anything, trying to feel something. Because there's definitely something not right here.
As you kind of look down to like unhook your book from your hip, you can't help but notice that all of the floors in this room just like gently slope towards this conspicuously large drain.
Oh.
And then you grab your book and So I'm assuming that you're essentially trying to, like, kind of sanctify ground.
Yeah.
You don't technically have the power to do that, but like
No.
you said, kind of in character, that's kind of the vibe that you're going for. So you, to your, I don't know, I think still to some degree surprise and also frustration, like you're standing in this room that is like clearly permeated with evil, and it doesn't, like, you don't feel anything like you should. And you pray, and you know, and the words are nice, and the words are comforting, but like you don't feel the outflow of like positive energy like you have so many times before. It still makes you feel a little bit better to do it versus not doing it, but at the same time, there's frustration, sadness, disappointment. You like, you don't feel an answer to your call.
The mood dice did not come up good.
Kind of cry out to Bana. Now is when I need you more than ever. This place is unholy. Please give me something.
And while that's happening, so is Bahir like literally rifling through these bones?
Yeah, I'd probably like pick up a few to like really get a look at them and stuff.
Okay, I guess where are you starting? There's kind of like 4.
I'd probably go for like the ones that look like they might be newer, like over here, like this pile or the pile that's over there by the drain.
Okay. So if at first you step to the one that you're currently standing by, and that's clearly too big, maybe even too big to be human, but definitely too big for what you're down here searching for, at least.
Yeah.
And
Do
then,
I know how like long they've been here? Like, has it been like a really long time, or?
well, at least the one that you're by right now is, I mean, it doesn't look ancient, and it's not like prehistoric, but you know, it doesn't look recent.
Okay. Now I'll go look at the one over there.
This one, I couldn't find anything appropriately sized in the props, but this one is probably somewhat distressingly a bit shorter, a bit stouter, perhaps a bit more dwarf shaped and sized, and it looks much newer. It's not meaty, it's not gooey, it's just a skeleton, but it's brighter than the others. It's there's no dust on it. Oh wait, actually this is perfect. And as you kind of squat down and examine it in a little bit more detail, you can't help but notice a distinctly metallic tinge to the air coming from the drain that you're standing over.
Okay.
No,
Gross.
Yeah, and being someone who is in touch with sense, it's very clearly blood that you can smell.
Okay. Can I tell if it smells fresh, like a day old-ish?
Make a wisdom check.
That's not good.
I have faith in you.
The one.
You're almost kind of like overwhelmed with the potency of it, and so you're like, I'm not really. Oh, what am I talking about? Like, yeah, the only way that this would be this smelly would be if it was fresh.
It was what? Sorry.
If the only way that the smell would be strong enough to be overwhelming like that is if it was fresh.
Okay.
In looking at the lever, Does it look like it had been touched recently?
Yeah, it is not. It does not have the same like patina or dusting as most of the other things around it. So that's probably not a bad assumption.
I don't think we should mess with this lever, Rubato. I think we should go get the others and get out of here and return to Capstone, like now.
I agree, and I grab the rest of the papers.
I will turn to Alonda and I'll say, I think we found our dwarf, possibly. Would I know, like, the body doesn't just turn into bones in 2 days?
Yeah, I think that's fairly common
General knowledge.
I don't think that's
Okay.
anything that you have to.
Alonda, I think we should leave.
Yeah, I don't know if you're
These both
seeing
are
what's
dwarf
going on
like-
in this room, but yeah, things are not
Coupled
holy
with
or
the
clean.
Rubato thinks that the papers they speak of very bad things, and judging from this room, I think we should not touch anything and go back and get your people to handle this matter. I think we should abandon the
Absolutely.
orc mission because this is far worse. That lever in there is a recent. It was touched recently. So someone has been
could
here.
have, like, touched it when he came down. you know?
No. Like as in it has been moved recently.
From the door here, could I see any cables or rope or chain or anything going to anything in this room that lever perhaps could have interacted with?
Make a spot check.
It's gonna go great.
And while you're doing that, so Skabosh and Rubato are in this other room, and Rubato kind of does some quick research and is like, oh dear, this is not.
I rolled a 13 total for a spot in this room for
Okay.
the same thing.
This is not great. So you guys are like, guys, that you gotta. Oh. Yeah.
We really need to get back to Capstone now, and we need to bring them with us.
You don't see anything, at least that seems to be obviously connected to that.
No, I'm far too distracted with the obvious things in the room.
Can we at least look a little more for the dwarf down here?
Yeah, what if he's still alive and waiting
Yeah.
for someone to help him?
I kind of point over at the skeleton that Bahir and I
One bodies
suspect
don't only
is-
turn into skeletons in 2 days. I mean,
Unless there was something very, 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 very wrong at foot here, and we should go get Alondite's people to deal with this.
Can we see anything down this drain?
You'd probably need a light source. At the moment, not really.
Okay.
I could light a torch and throw one down there.
Oh,
Would the
that's
torch fit into the drain?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
drop
it's
it for the
pretty
holes.
big.
So this is essentially a skeleton? Yes?
Yeah,
Is there like any like jewelry around it or like cloth bits?
No, don't defile the dead. Leave it.
I'm not doing that.
We're here.
I'm
Do
looking
it.
for identifying markers to bring to the people above us to see if this is their friend.
the one that you are standing by, at least, no.
Which one was the dwarfy looking one?
The one
The
with
one
its
over
feet
here.
Oh,
hanging over the
Fine,
train.
that one. That's the one
Yeah.
that I look at then.
It's. How thorough are you being? I suppose.
I'm gonna search it.
Okay, I mean, make a search.
Cavity search?
I don't know how many cavities are left.
I was gonna say,
but
do you
yeah.
have cavities as a skeleton?
That
I mean,
is a
I guess dental cavities. maybe.
24 total to search for anything that would be identifying marker for the friends.
Right.
Or ours says, so defiling the dead is where Alendite draws the line. Good to know. Also, just as a quick point, you didn't say that you were like, you were kind of going around the room counterclockwise. But I think it's worth pointing out, at least briefly, since Bahir's mind was in this mode, that at least as you kind of tacitly see that like bed of bones, it looks much older. Like those bones are yellowed. Like there's a heavy patina. Those do not appear to be anywhere near as fresh as the other two.
The ones that are by the drain.
No, the giant like bed of bones.
Me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
What
okay.
if?
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. What if I do like a sneak? Ahead and see if I can like maybe hear something or like if I see anything, but I don't know, like kind of like tiptoe and like peek around a few corners just to see if there's anything else worth investigating before we go.
Okay. Yeah, I'd go ahead and, at least for the moment while I follow up with other people, like kind of put your mini kind of where you want to be looking around. And then, okay, I had one other person that had some sort of question hanging that I didn't get to yet. It was searching the body.
Yes.
Like
anything.
It doesn't take
I won't be here
surgical
for this.
precision to find that these bones are like very clean. But you do find when you get to the mouth that there is some crude dental work.
Alondite,
Yeah.
I think this might be their friend.
We figured that.
But they're not going to
I'm,
want to
like,
leave
down the
unless
hallway.
they know it's him. And they're not going to come down here because he told them not to come down here.
Can
we maybe somehow, without making you just uncomfortable about defiling the dead, bring his remains to his friends so they can possibly give him a proper burial that's not on
That
a
is
stone
definitely
floor?
not defiling the dead. That is being respectful.
Okay, then can we maybe bring his remains up to see if that is in fact him?
Does
Because
anyone
they're not going to
have,
leave here, and
a
we
cloth,
need to leave.
A cloth to hold it in.
Bahir, we need your rug.
No.
You can have it back when we're done with it.
Oh.
Soiled it.
Are the bones at least like? Are they dirty? Like,
I will pay to have the rug
they have like
cleaned.
blood and stuff on it.
I'm pretty sure they've been like bleach, bathe, fire clean.
Yeah, no, they are like strangely clean.
Okay.
And we
All right.
we need to get
Fine.
out of here like now. And we need to bring them with us back to Capstone.
All right, to Rubato, where are you investigating or whatever? What are you doing?
I think Robato's with us. He came around the corner with me.
No, he's down like the other hallway right
I
now.
thought he came with me.
Or at least kind of at the entrance.
did.
He did, and then he turned around after a
okay.
little bit.
Oh. I wasn't quite expecting to see all that in there.
Okay. I guess is whoever's picking up the remains.
Yeah, we
I'm
just
gonna
start collecting
I'm
the remains.
kneeling over it, just like praying rites of like respect or something to make this less disrespectful of moving the dead.
Okay.
Let's just be careful not to drop any pieces.
If you're gonna be here, I'm gonna go catch up to the other people.
I mean, it's probably not going to take us that long to, like, wrap the body up and take it with
Yeah.
us.
I'm just afraid for 4 hit point man over here.
Very in character.
All right. we're gonna start making our way towards.
I mean, I'm just afraid for our new companion that joined, you know? I don't know how strong she is yet.
I'm sorry, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I'm gonna judge by now me carrying a rug with bones in it. I'm encumbered and slowly moving.
Oh yeah, I mean, that was a huge rug, right? That was like, I don't know, 7.5 by
Ava's with us, right? Where'd Ava
12.5
go?
feet.
Do we know where Ava went?
She's right there.
Okay. Oh.
Or is she hiding? I don't even know if I can see her.
Yeah, that rug is almost 100 square feet.
Yeah, I'll just wait here. You guys go up ahead. I'll cover Alondite just in case anything weird happens.
Do I see this rat over here?
You do actually,
The rat's back.
and it's kind of it's like kind of in this little alcove right here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just kind of sitting there, and presumably it's like Ava went by and whatever, and then you stop and kind of like look down this hallway, and it kind of like watches you for a second, and then it like turns and starts like retreating down this hallway.
We need to leave.
I'm like so intrigued by these hallways, but I'm scared.
I mean, we've still got a little time, right?
No.
Yeah,
I
We
am
have
not.
negative time.
I might not be of the same religion as Alondite, but I know that we need his people here doing something with this place. There's something not right. We need to go.
They are very busy. I think if we're gonna get
No.
anyone to come out here, we have to come back with some a lot of proof.
Well, we've
I have
got a
proof.
tapestry and papers, and yeah, we're gonna go with what we have.
I mean, there's legit goblins ravaging, attacking them, and they can't send out people to deal with it. I think we need more than.
They will deal with this if
Things.
that tapestry is. I mean, I don't see Alondite just taking random cloth unless it actually has a significance. We need to go.
Just 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes, and then we can get out of here.
And you can carry your damn rug after the body.
And I can carry the rock after we drop off.
I mean, what's more important, an escort or sacrifices?
Yeah,
you know what?
exactly.
If we all split up, we can get through this real quick.
No.
But Mom,
A
5 more
contract
minutes.
that we
We
were
really need
hired to do.
Alondite, you're in charge of the group. Can we maybe get them to move, please?
What if I do-
I don't like it
previous
here.
engagements. We have completed this contract. We will come back if it means so much.
Yes, we need to go now. I do not like this place, and I'm getting. I mean, you can tell I'm getting
Well,
more and
you
more
can leave
agitated.
if you want to, but
What if the only thing is the storm over? Is it ending?
It's sorry, I forgot to give you the weather report when we got into the morning.
On the weather.
more tornadoes.
Family Guy weather report.
So you woke up. Excuse me. Today is the 17th. Yes, 17th day of mid-spring. It is windy and overcast, but it's not. It's not windy to a noteworthy degree. There's probably 5 to 10 mile an hour winds, maybe gusts of 10 to 15 miles an hour. It's just normal windy.
Okay, so I do remember that when we were making a trek here, there was, I think we described it as an appendage coming down from the sky, potentially tornado like the town might be quite busy with like who knows what kind of damage is from the town. Like maybe we should be able to come back with like a maybe a little bit more to report or
I
more.
feel like we have enough to report with what we've seen here. I really do.
And if anything, we can help with repairs. We'd be more useful
the sooner
back
we
home.
get back to help with repairs, the sooner they can get a bigger, more effective search party out here to figure out what this is.
While these people stay here in a dangerous place?
We're not leaving them here.
We're
They're
taking them back. This is not a safe place to stay.
And we found their friend,
that's
so
really
I don't
up
think they're going to want
to-
to stay here with their friend dead.
Should I do like a move silent to like peek down maybe like one of these corridors a little bit?
I would say yes.
At this point, like you can tell with how agitated Skabosh is, she just takes off back up the stairs, like she's not staying.
Yeah, you certainly can. Yeah, so move silently is as it sounds like that's moving while making minimal or no noise, and then hiding is like specifically taking actions while you're moving or not moving, but in this case moving to like try and conceal yourself from sight. Obviously there's like a limited degree to which you can do that here, but there are kind of little alcoves and things, so you can do both or either.
Yeah, let's do both.
Okay.
Okay, 2 for move silent plus to do 8, so that's 10.
Okay.
And then hide. Should I roll that now?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay, 2 plus 10, 12.
Okay.
So a 10 for move silent and a 12 for hide.
Okay. So then go ahead and move yourself, and then like if necessary, I'll make any rolls for something to see or hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna move to this corner here and try to like kind of like arch my neck around the corner and see if I could see anything.
Okay.
Maybe around this corner to the left.
From that perspective, really what you can see is this iron door with like heavy lock in it, and then it is like the door is what it looks like in Talespire there, so you can see through it, and you can see like a large chamber beyond it, but you can't really, at least from the angle that you're currently at, you can't really see anything in that chamber.
Okay, gotcha. Can I don't know, is this too many actions? Can I do like
Yeah, we're not in combat, so
okay.
yeah.
Can I do like a listen to see if I can hear anything in that chamber that I can't see?
Sure. Well, and you also moved up kind of like while I was saying that, so that may potentially affect things.
Okay.
From where you are, you probably can't really make out like what it is, but you just barely can see some sort of like wooden scaffolding, kind of like off into the side of the room.
Okay.
But you don't hear anything other than what you would expect to hear in like an underground tunnel system. There's probably a bit of water dripping and
yeah.
I'm gonna go look around this way. Now that the party poopers have left. I'm gonna light like the torches. Can I like light this with my torch as I walk by? Will it light or not?
I know.
I guess you put the torch in it.
I know there is like a sconce around there, but for some reason it's not showing up for me. What the heck? That's weird. Oh, my my like draw distance cutoff thing was too low, so the object wasn't showing. There is nothing in there to light.
Okay.
So you could potentially light your torch and try and like jam it in there, but it's just a metal sconce.
I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna walk over this way. Oh.
I'm just gonna wait at these little crossroads here in case I hear
Things
anything
over
from
here.
either of them.
Are these like paintings?
Mm-hmm.
They are.
Yeah, I guess the tapestry's not a painting. So yeah, they're large paintings.
Okay.
So yeah, you step into this room and those are probably some of the biggest paintings you've ever seen, really. Like those are very large. They're like probably 6 or 7 feet by 8 or 9 feet. Like they're almost as big as that rug.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They don't necessarily look exactly like that. That just is like the props that they had. But they do feature they are like kind of headshots like that. And they definitely feature people and things that don't look like unicorns and rainbows.
Okay.
And then as you kind of like spin to take in a little bit more of the room, you see this large this large stone, like ornately carved chair at the end of the room
Oh.
with these purple curtains around it.
Is this painting over here like blank?
No, I just didn't want it all to be the same one, so I just grabbed like one of
Okay,
each of the prop
gotcha.
paintings.
Okay. Are they the frames that they are in? Are they metal or are they like?
You'd have to get hands on probably.
Yeah, I'll walk up to one and get hands on.
Okay. Yeah, it's like framing that you've seen before. It may even potentially be like gold leafed or something, but it feels organic.
Okay. Nah, like take a painting out and roll it up.
I
I move the painting.
suppose there's a number of ways to do that. It depends on how much time and care you want to put into it. Broadly speaking, yes, you can have a painting be no longer on the wall and in your possession, but its condition will depend heavily on how you decide to go about that.
Can I like? Okay. I don't think I want to do it down here. Can I find the painting that looks like the most detailed or like, the most ornate?
Make an appraise check. I think that is literally the only time I've ever called for that.
Appraise? Where even is that? What's it use?
Very top of
they're in
the
alphabetical
page.
order.
Very
So,
top. Okay.
yeah. Appraisal. I think it's just appraise is what they call
7.
it. I don't know. I mean, they all look like nice big paintings. Like,
That just means I gotta take all of them. I'll take this one that I'm next to, I guess.
okay. So how are you accomplishing that?
I will like. Is it like in the wall or kind of like? Is it like attached like a painting would be to a wall?
It's
Just,
probably really
like, nailed
heavy.
in.
I kind of halfway in between, I guess. It's like, I don't know, like bolted, riveted. I don't like kind of take your pick, I guess. But it's not just like hung on a string on a single nail, but it's also not like, terramorphed into the rock.
And I like take it off of the wall.
You could
without
like
damaging it.
cut like along the side, like the inside of the frame, and just take like that piece. I mean, it'd be damaging it, but
Yeah.
like just
So
like the
what you're
canvas,
looking to
like
do with
and
it,
roll
are
it.
you looking to have the painting for value or painting for identification?
Can those dopes, Can I take it? Like, I tried to pull it off the wall without like damaging it. I guess I don't care if the frame gets damaged. I just don't want damage to like the painting itself.
Okay. Yeah. Make a strength and a dexterity check.
Okay. Ha! Nice. There's strength.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Straight through the
Oh
set.
boy.
I can't pull it off. There's dexterity. That's 17. That's a 30-20 for dexterity.
Okay, so you're kind of like manipulating it around and trying to kind of like, you probably need to plant a foot or maybe even 2 into the wall here as well to like leverage things. And while you're trying to position yourself in such a way to be able to like leverage it so you can try and kind of like rip it off of these bolts. You kind of like slip and just kind of like bleh, like not in a way that damages it necessarily, but just kind of like slip into the painting like face first, and then just kind of like land on your butt.
Okay. Can I try to get out again?
Yeah.
I'll spend some time down here. I mean, not that long though. Okay, never mind. I give up. I'll make roll dexterity again too. Or does it go matter?
Yeah, it matters. Because you had really good dexterity before. Okay.
19.
Because if you nat 1 to the dexterity, also you're gonna like SWAT team breach into the painting.
I was really hoping that was gonna happen.
Okay, I'm just gonna take my sword and like cut around the edge of the frame and cut the painting out.
Okay.
So I go up. Is that another dexterity?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna roll another nat 1 watch. Where did that go? Okay, that's
Somewhere on the map.
It's depending on where you have like your height drawn, the dice may actually be going like above ground.
okay.
But it's fine. It gives you the roll anyway. So that was a 19 plus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, 22.
Yeah, so you like frustrated after ending up on your butt twice in a row, you like not being able to get this loose from its bolts, you're just like, fine, like swing. And you have it's actually like a great sword, isn't it?
Yeah.
So sticking with what you know as a man of martial prowess, you step back and actually manage to like think about like cutting through like wrapping paper with scissors, right? Like maybe that very first little bit might not be quite as clean of a cut, but like once you get the blades to bite in, you can just do that like shh thing and kind of like go along to the edge of it. So yeah, maybe kind of like the top right corner of it or whatever. Maybe there's like a little bit more of a where you had to like essentially insert the blade, but otherwise you managed to actually like do a pretty good job like slicing around it. It's definitely it's in order to mount it again, if someone wanted to, like the painting would be smaller because you need to have like there has to be canvas to like fold around something. So there's definitely still damage, but the part of it that you end the whatever 85% of it that you end up with is in 9 out of 10 condition.
Okay. I will leave and go check on the others.
I'm gonna sneak up behind Ava. What do you see?
What are your elf eyes? Oh, Ava's not
Hi. I don't see anything, and I don't hear anything either. I think this area might be empty, but this door is locked, definitely.
Where? Okay, so did Rubato go? Are you up where Ava is now?
Oh yeah, I was gonna sneak up there to try to.
Okay.
Stay
Hold that thought for a second. Let's cut to Skabosh really quickly.
Yeah.
Since she left a little bit before all that was happening. So yeah, Skabosh. So you make your way upstairs. You've already checked, especially that entryway for traps. So you don't run into any issues or anything like that. You get up to the top, and all of the gnomes kind of collectively are just kind of start chattering at you, like, did you find him? What's going on? Is he safe?
We need to leave. It is not safe here. There is something very wrong and potentially evil here. We believe we found a set of unnaturally clean dwarven bones that we have brought up with us. We are hoping you might be able to identify anything on them that might maybe be your friend. And then I turned to Alondai, because I'm assuming Alondai just followed me.
Yeah, I'm like double arm holding the rug and lay it on the floor and then let it unroll with the bones. And
so as you say that at first, mainly you get a reaction out of out of Ambrose and Brigida, who are just kind of scoff in disbelief. They're like,
This is not a joke. This is not up for debate. This is not safe.
Kind of backing one of them forward. Can I have one of you please identify dental work?
As soon as you kind of roll things out, Abraham just kind of falls to pieces and starts wailing. He's in charge of this expedition, and so he feels responsible for anything that may or may not have happened. So he just kind of collapses in a puddle.
Aw, that's sad.
No.
Poor guy.
We will escort you back to Capstone proper, so that you may give him a final proper funeral. But we cannot stay here. We're going to go collect our friends, and we will be leaving.
Marta goes to take care, to comfort him, rather. And Brigida is, sobers up when she sees the bones and kind of puts on her professional pants and makes her way over and kind of starts looking at what you've laid out.
I'm picturing Abraham, like Harry Potter Goblet of Fire when the dad's like, my boy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Essentially, yeah.
All right, let's cut back underground for a second here. So probably because Bahir spent a while with the paintings, so you're probably not there just quite yet.
Yeah.
Temporally, you're still in the throne room. All right, so what's Rubato have to say here?
You didn't see anything in there.
No, I can't see anything through these grates, and I can't even. The door is locked. There's no getting past that without a key.
Can you see well in the dark?
That honestly, I don't remember where I wrote that on that sheet. Let me see. I think low light vision, but
Would that be one of the special abilities or something?
yeah, usually that's where I would have written that. So no, I don't think you have any special vision.
Yeah, I have low light vision.
Oh, nice. Take a peek.
So just as a point to, oops, crap, didn't mean to click off the line.
It's a poor angle, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's really the larger issue, is you can, maybe see kind of the platform of whatever that scaffolding is, but you can't really see much more beyond that. I guess maybe if we take the most advantageous angle possible, kind of where Ava currently is. Oh wow, that put it way above your head, but whatever, that's fine. It's more about the angle into the room. Yeah, I guess if you really kind of squeeze your way into that little alcove, you can see more. Where does that get cut off? Actually, what the heck? Okay,
Yeah,
it's getting cut
I'll
off
squeeze up
there.
to Ava and try to get a better angle a little bit to kind of just peek around the corner as best I can.
Yeah, so
Here,
you can
take my
probably
spot.
see about that much of it. To the left of that line, I should say.
What do you see?
Well, nothing good. Maybe a cage. Well, I don't see anything alive or not alive in there, so I guess that doesn't matter if we can't get in there.
Okay.
Let's backtrack out of this area.
Okay. Should we make our way down this hallway with the rat?
Well, there's- well,
It
quickly.
looks a bit of a ways to go. And it kind of seems like the rat's beckoning us that way. I don't know if I trust it.
I know. I thought the same thing about the rat.
I feel that the nature's creatures, though, are fully trustworthy. And I feel at the same time, with everything that's happening here, we shouldn't leave any stone unturned. But
I agree.
Alright.
I understand your trepidation. I mean, I'm sure not the one walking in first, so...
Should I move silently down the long hall just in case?
Rubato essentially just said, I think this is a great plan for you to do.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
That might be a good idea.
After you.
But like, if there is something down that way, then at least they might not see you and you can get away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you certainly can. There's like, that's one of those things, like hiding and or moving silently is pretty much always at your discretion. The only thing is you can't hide if you are being observed. So like, you can't, if somebody's looking at you, you can't just be like peekaboo.
Yeah.
So turn around over here.
And the rat has been observing us.
I mean, it's just a rat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mimic.
Don't joke about that.
The whole dungeon is a mimic.
First character ever died to a mimic.
Beautiful.
I still have PTSD from that.
Can I make us? I don't know. Could I do like a survival check to see if the rat's acting like a normal animal?
That's probably more of a knowledge nature thing.
I have knowledge nature +4.
Well, look at that.
That sounds amazing.
Hey. See, we were meant to do this.
I know, right?
As angry as we're making the rest of our party.
I know. I get like Skabosh is like kicking like the wall upstairs, like in frustration.
It's
or
more
something.
of a. It's more that Skabosh is uneasy and doesn't want to have to bury people today.
Yeah.
Plus, doesn't really like being underground at all.
Okay, should I do I guess would I have to move to the rat and then knowledge nature, or
I mean, that's entirely up to you, right? The closer you can observe it, probably the more you can discern from what it's doing, but
okay.
don't have
Okay,
to.
I don't know, you saying you don't have to makes me I'm nervous.
I'm just laying out the options.
Alright, what if I I don't know, what do you guys think?
I mean, me and Alondite aren't there, so
Like, if you're
Yeah,
gonna walk
let's-
that way anyway, then might as well get a
Let's-
little closer to him.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. I'll move. I guess I should move silently. That way I don't scare the rat to running away further. And then I can knowledge nature.
I'll be right behind you.
Yeah,
Okay.
so do whatever concealing activities you want to do, and then you'll spot so then that way we kind of know like how good of a vantage on it you get, and then
Okay.
that'll kind of act as a modifier to like your knowledge nature check.
Okay, so 3 separate rolls then, potentially?
It'll eventually be 4. So let's start with
4.
hiding and or moving silently.
Okay. So if I did moving silently, that's 10 plus 8, that's 18.
Nice. Okay.
And then
it would be a spot check, I guess, since this is the thing that you are looking at and it is capable of observing you.
okay.
You can't
That would be 19.
for spot. Okay. Okay. So that I'll say that will give you a +2 like bonus to the result of your knowledge nature check. So whatever. So you'll roll d20, add whatever your modifier is for nature, and add an additional 2 to that.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, 14. That is a 20 total.
It's strange. Like, it is just a rat. Like, it's not special, but like it is. Like, the way that it's just looking at you is really strange. And it's like it doesn't seem afraid. Oh wow, this is a super cool view that I just took. Hold on, I'm just gonna just really quickly as an aside. I'm sorry, that looks super cool with the depth of field. I'm gonna show this on stream just really fast.
Do it.
Oh, that is cool.
You can see like the rat like staring Ava down, and then in the background you see this kind of like blurry Rubato and like the silhouette of Bahir like kind of framed by this archway with the light. That looks really neat.
Mm-hmm.
Dig it.
Anyway, sorry. So yeah, it's you can't help but feel like it's watching you. It's like it's thinking something.
Like any sense of like danger from it, or do I feel like almost like more drawn to it, like safe around it?
No, there's no particular. There's nothing like mind affecting going on. It just there's something like that's kind of from a curiosity standpoint, kind of mesmerizing in terms of like the way that it's behaving.
Okay.
And so it watches you, you know, without any like of the fear or nervousness or whatever that you would normally expect to see from rodents in a situation like this. And then after 10 or 15 seconds of just kind of like making eye contact and watching you, it like skitters across the hallway into this other alcove to where you don't have like a good view of it.
Okay. That makes me nervous. Should I don't know, maybe like call up the others and have them like meet me to this point in the hallway?
I mean, there's only 3 of you total, just a heads up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine though. It's just a rat, right?
Have fun with that.
Yeah, it's only a rat. I'm sure it's fine.
I had rolled a 12 on move silently. I have been slowly creeping up.
Okay.
Nice.
Maybe I should do that.
I'm all trying to creep, and you're doo-doo.
Ooh, 18, nice.
Got 21 for move silent.
Nice.
Nice. Okay.
I get a +3. So. I do have a light though, because I cannot see in the dark.
We'll tell Brigitte that you died valiantly.
Fantastic.
That way she'll at least remember you, since you didn't actually get to go on a date.
It would have been my first. Ava.
Your first date, right?
Yes. What, Ava, what did you see?
It's just a rat, but I don't know. It's almost behaving a little bit differently compared to a rat. Like, he didn't scurry away, and we made eye contact.
Yeah, for lack of a better word, it's acting intelligently.
Wow.
Hello. Is
I
it
don't know
me?
if I trust a random rat we found.
That definitely seems a bit worrisome. As much as I do want to continue, I don't know if we should without the rest of our party.
Yeah. Okay, so we will report back with a painting and a story of a rat.
Okay.
The rat.
It's good. That's worthwhile.
Yeah.
Completely skipping over the sacrificial chamber and the bones and the dead bodies.
Right. Okay, that's true.
Yeah, but
And
the rat was
and
the important part.
the dead dwarf that is recently dead and completely picked clean.
Yeah, bone. Burning the bone.
A rat ate the
I know
body.
I know this is difficult, but is this your friend?
Hold on, getting my draw distance.
Can
sorted out.
you confirm that this is
Stuck up here.
Manfred? Manfred?
Yes, Manfred. Hold on, I got super disoriented when I came back above ground.
We lost him, guys. Quick, back downstairs.
Guess it's time to go follow that.
Oh, that's
rat.
right. I can double click on people. Derp. I always forget about that part. Okay. All right. So are you just kind of addressing the group, or are you talking directly to Brigitte?
Brigitte, because
Oh.
clearly the other gnome is very distressed by this.
Yeah, being more serious than you've seen her be really at any point thus far. The cockiness is gone. The flirtiness is gone. She kind of purses her lips and nods her head. She says, "I'm no doctor, but it's not too common to have special stuff in your teeth like that. I think probably it is."
We need to gather your friend Naud, and we need to return to Capstone and bring back like a legion of paladins or something.
We bury the skeleton. before
No,
we leave.
we're gonna let them decide what they're gonna do with their friend. We don't know their ways.
I might want to send him out to sea.
I will ask if they have something else to put their friend in.
Yes, by all means, the rug is not the best transportation.
Yeah.
They just
something
kind
that
of
I
like
can
I can't
carry.
think how to describe like this motion, so I'm just gonna show on camera really quickly, so that they're not shrugging their shoulders, but it's kind of like that open kind of like, what do I? You can see what I have and what I don't have. Marta's like, we didn't exactly come prepared to deal with funerary rites.
Alondite,
Uh-huh.
does your tent come with like a cot?
No, just the shelter.
There's no like sleeping bag.
I mean, I have a sleeping bed, but
You can use my sleeping bag.
Thank
It's-
you, Roboto.
Not in the best shape, but it'll do for this.
We'll just give them the sleeping bag to. It'll probably be a little bit easier to maneuver than a giant rug for the gnomes.
I mean, you still have a giant rug.
I know, but the gnomes aren't going to be able to like drag that around. Especially since we need to like get back to Capstone like now.
I will carry the rug. I don't have very much stuff on me, so
I helped them load up the sleeping bag / sack / coffin.
Okay. It takes a few minutes to like do that with the proper, kind of energy, I guess, the proper level of respect. But, at the same time, you're not exactly like trying to reconstruct the body for autopsy. Like you move slowly and respectfully, but you're not doing anything like special, for lack of a better word.
Lay it out inside the sleeping bag all perfectly, and then just pick it up like a bag and hear it dump inside and clank around.
here, Roboto, catch it.
So, all right, is everybody up here now?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Okay.
I think it's time for us to head back.
Yes.
So at that, Abraham pulls himself together a little bit, and he says, "I'd feel a lot better about at least covering up our discovery, so his loss isn't in vain."
As long as we can remember how to get back here, because we're gonna need to bring the proper authorities in to deal with the evil here.
He doesn't really like respond to that. He just kind of like nods his head sadly and picks up like a bit of rubble and kind of starts waddling it over to like this area that you guys need to brick up.
Alondite,
Yes.
this is a quiet conversation. Do you think they uncovered the evil, or were they drawn by the evil? Like, did they accidentally bring something out into this world?
I could see reasoning for both sides. A few days ago, I could have told you. Now, I don't know.
What's going on with you?
I'm assuming you at least stepped aside a little bit.
Yeah,
here.
no, like we're off to the side. Like
Well, move your minis, dang it.
Dag nabbit. Fine, we're this way. What's going on?
I haven't felt a connection with Bana at all since we've been out.
What does your leader
I've
say?
lost that. I've pretty much been disconnected, and I have lost my ways, and I need to repent and become one with Bana again. And
Did you get directions on how to do this?
they're investigating for now. I would have to have some sort of divine inspiration or connection. They'll get back to me on it. As of right now, I don't know.
You literally can feel nothing.
No more than you. I don't even know if I can call myself a paladin anymore.
This unsettles me. Well, if you need anything, you know where to find more help than just me. My family will always take you in.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
We should really get going. I do not like this place.
It's like herding cats.
Yes, you're telling me. I return to the group and kind of try and gently prod people along, since I know the gnomes are dealing with their loss.
Okay.
Nowd's not with us, right? Or did he come with us?
Yeah, he is. He's
Okay.
just been
Off somewhere.
He's out by the front of the ruins,
Got it.
or the ruins of this building, not the ruins.
All right.
Oop.
Kind of
That's
set
a
like
wall.
a stern pace and just kind of order everyone set up double pace. We're heading home to Capstone.
Is anybody gonna help the poor like middle-aged gnome that's currently trying to like single-handedly brick up this entrance?
Yeah.
Yes,
I would-
All
we
the
will.
gnomes are doing that.
Let's do that real quick.
I thought
Retcon.
they were all working on it.
I think the others are kind of still reeling from the fact that their friend is
Well, and
a
you know,
skeleton.
like because right, we're not actually working in like combat order or anything, but to some degree, a lot of this is happening at roughly the same time. So they're like dealing with the body while he's doing what he can do to feel productive.
Oh. I think we're gonna be here all day if we're gonna try to break up the sentry.
Just a quick job to respect what he's done. After helping with the body, I'd help with that a little bit as well. Try to.
Roboto, is there any sort of magic you can do to like kind of cave it in?
Not that. No.
Okay.
Anybody who wants to that's here can make a sense motive check really quickly.
I'm good at that. No, I'm not. Not yet, at least. That's a.
He seems alright to me.
Mine was a 14. Ooh, Ava. There we go.
Yes.
19 total.
Okay, so kind of taking this scene in and like watching what Abraham does in the first like minute or so of doing this, you get the impression that what he's going for is like more obfuscation than trying to make it like an impenetrable barrier. Like he wants to camouflage it.
Good.
Because I mentioned coming back? Or because he wants to sneak back on his own later?
I mean, that's a lot of questions for somebody that didn't roll the high sense motive.
He did say that he wanted to protect the work they had done, as well as
That's true.
to show respect for Manfred.
Could I try to like collapse this like wooden wall thing over here? Like on top of it?
Oh, that's a good idea. Make it look like a floor or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, like you can do it however you want to do it. I think that sounds like a good plan.
Okay. Do I need to roll anything to do that, or
Not really. I mean, there's not really a penalty for failure here unless you're specifically like, we're trying to hide this so not even a rogue can find it. Like,
okay. And then after that's done.
okay. Yeah, you just spend, especially if there's like a few people helping with it, you just spend, I don't know, 10 minutes or so kind of like using the door and like some rubble and kind of like, trying to make it look more like that's like a storage shed than a stairway.
Okay. I think it's a good time to try to get out of here now.
Yeah, well, we still have light. Let's head out.
Yeah, all told, right? This whole thing probably only took 1 to 2 hours. Like it's actually still relatively early in the day.
I think if there were orcs in the area, this is probably where they'd hang out. So
No orcs, but sacrificial chamber. Not sure if that's a step up or step down.
It depends on who you worship.
Not bad. Nah. It is bad.
As we're gearing up to go, I put my hand on Brigitto's back and start to usher them forward. Come on, we'll get you someplace safe.
Sorry, I'm sending info to somebody. Okay. Would you mind repeating the last little bit of that, Roboto?
Oh, I said, as we're gearing up to leave, I put my hand on Brigitto's back and start to usher them ahead and We'll get you someplace safe. Let's go.
So as a scout, earlier when like I kind of first approached this area with who was it, Skabash?
Yeah.
I was kind of approaching like this side of the building, and I did find some larger footprints rather. But at that point we found who was it? Brigitte?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had come inside. So I kind of want to like
in that area.
Yeah, draw attention to like the group and just kind of like remind them that I saw that and maybe go check it out.
You think we can spare a few minutes to check that, Alonda, or should we get going?
Would I know by looking at the sky what type of morning or afternoon it is?
What time?
Yeah.
That would be all of that kind of stuff generally falls under survival.
Yeah, I'll roll. Survival. Nope.
Yeah, broadly speaking, right? It's not like you're blind. Like it's pre-noon, but no, you're not. You don't have a good estimate.
If we're quick, I mean, I think we're pushed for time. I don't want to commit to anything too big.
Okay, should I maybe like move like more into that area and like check it out?
You asking me or asking them?
I'll sneak hide and come along as well.
Okay.
Yeah, two of you go, but move double pace. Don't commit to anything.
Okay. And I believe it was this
20 to
general
hide.
direction.
And a nat 20 to move silently.
Nat 20.
Yeah, baby.
Nice.
Okay, where are we?
And that is
Meet us at the front, at the entrance where we met town.
Okay.
Just kind of broadly in that area was what I had described.
okay. That was a 26 move silently.
Okay. And what was the hide for Ava? That was also quite high.
Oh yeah.
Was
11, 10, 21.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah, you can't help but notice that the two of you get into a pretty good rhythm pretty quickly when it comes to moving about and exploring things together and being what's the word I want? Not unobstructed, but whatever. Without being particularly easy to spot.
Where am I?
You remember you can always double click.
Oh,
Well, now you're up on the ruins.
I had double clicked and I couldn't find me.
Yeah, I think you just need to lower your green height.
Well, I had it lowered. And...
Yeah, so click on once you get it to where you want it, click on the lock.
Oh, there
And
I
then
am.
it won't keep resetting. Yeah, I don't know why they made unlocked the default. Like yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Some of the trees are flying. Ignore that.
So is it just this general direction?
Yeah, the general area, kind of like where Ava's mini is, and I mean, that was all the further she went, right? You essentially just like told her to go, well, asked her, I don't know, whatever, to do a lap and kind of check the area. So she just kind of did a wide loop around the building, and while she was back here, she spotted some tracks.
Did you notice how recent the tracks were?
Would I roll for that? For something?
I think technically answering that might fall under the track feet, but let me look really fast.
Sorry, did you guys say something about the tracks to the rest of us?
Sort of. We just said we were gonna go check them out real quick.
Okay.
We haven't actually
Yeah.
come back yet.
So, but yes, like when they left, they identified that they were going to look at tracks.
Oh. Could I go over there now?
Do whatever you want.
Okay. I will head over. Can I use... I have the tracking feet, so can I use that to look at them?
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
When all this is happening, I'm kind of getting all the gnomes, or the gnomes and everyone ready. And
Okay.
ushering them towards the front.
Yeah, it's same. I'm just helping comfort my people.
Did you? Did I miss it? Did you roll for robots or for Bahir?
Okay. It's an 8.
Feast and
Oof.
famine. Anybody who has it that's over there can also make a knowledge. Well, just make a roll for now, and I'll tell you which knowledge it is in a second.
I mean, all I got is local, so. And the best.
It would be nature. Would be
Oh,
what we
well,
want
then
here.
mine doesn't count.
Mine would be 16 total. Wait, did I roll 12?
I think so.
Okay, I think so too.
If you, I don't think there's a hotkey for it, or if there is, I don't know what it is. But on the top right, there's like a little dude with a hard hat and a book.
Yes.
And the book is the roll history.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, I rolled so 16 total for that knowledge check.
Does anybody else have it, or is that it?
I do not.
Okay.
You said nature, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So now that you get over here and actually, because you essentially were just walking around and like looking at first. So now that you actually come back here with some intent and kind of like poke around and look at what's back here, it doesn't take a whole lot of time. For the most part, your work recently has been north facing and more dealing with the goblins and stuff, but you've had enough training to be able to identify like these are clearly orc tracks.
Are clearly what tracks?
Orcish footprints.
Ooh.
Well, look at that. We've accomplished our goal. We should really get going.
There are no, never mind. I guess
What?
that would be, I was going to give you more info, but that would be info from the tracker.
Okay. Would we I guess we would be able to see like what direction the tracks are going, right?
Yeah, that's one of those things that's kind of weird. Like technically to get like any directional information requires like succeeding on the track check, but obviously
Okay.
that's kind of silly. Like it's anybody that literally has eyes can like look at them and be like that way,
As much as I would love to itch for a fight, I must remind everyone here that there's 3 of us currently, and that we have at least 3 gnomes who have no fighting experience whatsoever. So if we get into a fight with some orcs, there's potential for casualties.
I will say also we can describe like Bahir's struggle to like get meaningful information from them is probably because they're fairly old. Not like
Okay.
not years or anything, but they're like weeks to 10 days to months old.
Okay. Well, at least we can come back and report that in this same area we saw these tracks as well. Like all the more reason to come back with like more power.
Exactly.
I like it.
All right, let's get back to the group.
You can just pick yourself up, sweetie. It's
I know,
probably
but I like hopping around.
the hopping is fun. There's just something that's satisfying about the like. I think it's one of those little things that's like sometimes functional, sometimes not, but it helps ground it and make it feel like a digital tabletop versus just dragging your guy around.
There were some orc prints, but they might be a little bit old, Alondite, but we should definitely get back and tell our leaders about everything that we've found here.
Well, footprints in the mud don't stay too long. I mean, you're looking at weeks at most.
Potentially.
Which is still pretty recent.
Yes. Point is, we don't have the means to fight them if there's a lot of them, and we've got civilians who can't fight, probably.
Yeah, definitely not a fighting day.
All right. Well, we should probably get a move on.
Yes.
Yep, everybody, we're traveling people.
All right. I don't think we necessarily need to get into mini manipulation here unless people really want to drag their minis all the way through the map here.
Yes, one block at a time.
Everybody hop. Let's try and get it in unison. Left, left. All right, but one thing that is probably a little more pertinent is who is wayfinding for us.
You guys know I'm really good at that. Sometimes I have my off days.
But everybody does, you know.
Leave it up to Ava.
Yes, have Ava lead us back.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Go ahead and make us a survival check.
Alrighty. 15 total.
Okay. So, you know, it may not be the like laser focused, absolutely most efficient route that anyone has ever taken to traverse this terrain, but it's, you know, you definitely have everyone going in the right direction and you know, and find a route that is fairly efficient to travel.
Which we would be like exiting the same way.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. This
okay.
is going to be overland travel, so like we don't really have
Yeah.
enough map space for this. This is just going to be a imagine it's happening sort of thing. If you really want, I guess we can take everybody and just kind of like, so we have something somewhat representative. I'll grab everybody and toss you in the kind of like wooded lane that was on the way into town here. Am I missing somebody? Oh yeah, there's Skabosh. Yeah.
Okay, so it is the 17th, correct?
That sounds right. I will double check that here in a second.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the honor guard leaves on the 20th, correct?
Correct. You have about 2 days of travel. You know,
We'll
depending on
make it in
conditions
time,
and
don't
whatever.
worry.
2 days of travel without marching.
Well, you know, it's always going to vary a little bit based on your route and if you know, have to fight or hide from anything. And, you know, like when you guys were coming over here, the weather was really bad, so that slowed you down a little bit. But it's broadly speaking, it's 2 days plus or minus, you know, a part of a day.
Okay. Okay, everyone, 2 days. Keep it by ear.
I am still
Couldn't
missing
have to
somebody.
force
Where the heck is Ava? No, Ava's up front. Okay, we're good.
Is it the human with the bag?
Oh, yes, it is. Crap.
Node.
Oh, Node. Where are you?
Well,
He
he's
kind of
not at the
blended in
house.
with the ruins.
Yeah.
I was like, this isn't enough. I couldn't figure out who it was, but I knew that wasn't enough minis. Yeah. Okay. And did Skabosh make it?
Yeah.
Are you in a tree?
I see me. Maybe?
Oh yeah, you're just like in the woods, just
Yeah,
off
I'm
to the
stuck
side.
in the
Yeah, yeah.
trees.
Okay. Actually, not even in a tree. You are on the ground. You're just like in the woods, which I feel like is kind of fitting for you anyway.
Exactly.
All right. So yes, to confirm on that, it is at this point you're probably broadly kind of mid to late, probably more like late morning on the 17th of mid-spring. It is windy and overcast, but at least for the moment, it's not doing anything more than that.
Okay. Onward.
Yep. To the random encounter charts.
Please don't be a snowstorm.
Oh, I already rolled the weather. No, I'm rolling for like living things.
100 goblins show up.
It's also worth a reminder at this point. You are 3-ish days into this travel, so I don't know what everyone's ration situation was, but I would imagine you probably don't have just a 10-day left. But ration tracking does matter some, so if you haven't done that yet, you should mark off 3 days worth of food.
I'm definitely low.
Somebody should have planned ahead.
I did plan ahead. I planned to the exact day, but we are 1 day behind.
Oh no. I also did. I have 2 days of ration, so we don't make it back in 2 days. I'm gonna be eating that rug I just bought.
Well, people with survival can forage, I believe.
Yeah, so you can, I forget exactly what they call it. But you can search for food and hunt as you travel. When doing so, you travel at half of your overland move speed, and then I forget exactly how it works, but like, let's say the DC is 10, you find food for one person for a day for 10, and then for every 2 above 10 that you roll. So like if you got a 14, you'd find food for 3 people.
Okay. We're not to that point yet, though.
And each person, it's one of those things that's kind of weird, but like each person can attempt that. So it's not a guarantee, but there is a reasonably good chance that you can feed yourselves if you move at half speed.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously pending skills and whatnot. If you all have -3 wisdom and nothing in survival, then that's a little less viable.
How much extra food does Mendez have for Rubato?
You didn't ask.
Let's keep going.
Oops. I guess you can't see it when I do that anyway. You only see it when I apply to board. Okay.
I brought real food, Orar, okay?
Oh no, something's coming.
The
You only
shadows.
see it when it applies.
Oh god, there's shadows and there are people. Shadow people. No, I'm just kidding.
I shoot.
He was in the front this time.
I turn and aim for the tin can.
What did I do?
No crossfire.
I wasn't done exploring, okay?
So your first, generally speaking, I break overland travel up into like half-day chunks. So your first, as far as rolling for encounters, unless you're in like an especially dangerous area. So your first like half day of travel. So you started late morning, so you travel until 2 o'clock ish, 2 or 3, somewhere in there. Probably more like 3. And there's no traveling's pretty easy. Ava's done a good job of routing you back, kind of roughly along where you came through in the first place. And the forest is definitely a bit more lively than it was before, because it's not like, apocalyptic weather, but it's still windy.
Pixie, I thought you were a goblin.
Rubato really does attack.
What?
Are we walking against the wind?
That's a good question. Hold on. I don't know, man. I wish I knew. I used to have this random encounter chart, but I couldn't find it today. Wind is blowing to the east. Yes, yeah, you actually are, more or less.
Okay. I'm gonna use as we walk like that way. I'm gonna be like making sure I use my scent, and then I get to see like 60 feet around me instead 60 feet in front, since the wind's coming to me.
Okay. Yeah, so the wind is coming more or less west to east, and you guys are traveling kind of, I don't know, I guess northwest, right? Because you have to like,
Whoa, what did I do?
go around the mountain.
Yeah.
How do I fix this?
Just like, yeah, look down and zoom out. There you go. Yeah, I don't
That was
know
weird.
what you did. that was very odd.
I was trying to get a screenshot.
Oh, use F12 because it's a Steam game, so that'll take a.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll take a Steam screenshot.
You can also hold Windows Shift S and take a snippet.
Yes.
That's hilarious. Okay. Obviously that just wouldn't have worked, but for random rolls, almost landed on a whale.
I was going to say white dragon? No.
So, as you are just a little bit after you get started back up, right? You stop for a late lunch, almost a dinner, and eat and take a short break, and then get back to traveling. And an hour, maybe an hour and a half, kind of post meal. But here catches the scent of some kind of animal up ahead.
There's some kind of animal around here. I don't know what kind, I just know there is one.
Good, you can get yourself that food you forgot to buy. Speaking of, did the gnomes have food?
Yeah, they were provisioned to be here for like a month.
Right. 20 total to hide. And not really silent. 3. And a 9 to move silent to just kind of scout ahead to see if I can see what the animal is.
Okay. Yeah, there's, the wind and the rain like knocked a lot of like leaves and branches, and there's just like it's hard to walk without snapping and cracking something right now. So you're doing okay. Like you're not exactly Alan-diting your way through the forest, but it's definitely not the quiet. Right? Because you can hear. It's not the quietest you've ever moved either. Go ahead and make a spot check.
That's a 12. 12 total.
Okay. You don't see anything just yet.
And can I tell for my scent, would this have been an animal I've been like that would be familiar to me, like by smell? Or how, because this is third round, I can identify the type of creature with appropriate knowledge check, succeeding automatically if the scent's familiar. It's like, would I have smelled this kind of animal before?
Maybe? Go ahead and roll.
I not so quietly proceed to sneak a little bit.
You just want me to roll a
down.
d20 for like if I've seen one before?
Yeah.
Okay, I moved a little bit more silently. Well, not silently, but quiet.
Nope.
And rolled a natural 20 for spot.
Oh, that was Pixie that rolled the 20. I thought it was about here.
I rolled a 2.
No, 20 to spot.
Yeah,
Pixie
you.
rolled my 20.
I'd say you can kind of broadly see that it's not. Sense, I guess. It's not the smell of like a bear or a wolf or something like that.
Okay.
That would have like a very obvious aroma.
What do my half-elf eyes see?
Maybe 30 or 40 feet up and on the opposite side of the lane. I mean, obviously where you're traveling isn't this obvious of a lane because this is just the map that we're on. But the kind of makeshift lane that you guys are navigating through the trees, you see a small, well, I don't know, I guess for a rodent it's relatively large. You see some kind of rodent like snuffling around and digging in the underbrush. Yeah.
Well, it's probably not very big, but
Like
there is a
deerish.
rodent off to the side there.
That might be slightly
Alright.
too far away, but it's close enough.
Might be like a snack for someone later, or maybe a meal for the gnomes.
And what was the total of your spot? It was a nat 20.
21 total.
Go ahead and make a knowledge nature check.
I don't have that.
I know, but
9.
9. It's some kind of like a weasel or a ferret or something like that.
We can make friends.
Maybe some kind of ferret, maybe some kind of squirrel, like something kind of in that like general size and family.
Well, it's probably not really feasible for food, but I mean, it could be a pet.
Can I walk up and like grab some of my rations? Like, come here, little guy.
You can certainly try. Yeah, it's
Okay.
make a handle animal check.
What's your handle animal?
It goes by charisma, right?
It does go.
What is your handle animal? Let me do it.
Oh, yeah, you should do it. Yeah. You deal with animals.
I do.
Like, Alondite, go get that.
Yeah,
go make that
obviously
right
I
there.
would have just re-rolled, but I was one off from rolling whale.
Okay, I get like super into it. I like take off my shiny
A land
loud
whale.
armor.
Sorry, say again, Alan.
I get really into it. I unclip my loud shiny shoulders and kneel down and crumple up a little bit of Bahir's rations.
The one ration poor person using the other ration poor persons to do it.
8 plus 6.
14 total. Nice.
We got 14. Better than average.
Maybe. Well, I guess. What do you? So you're trying to get it to come, essentially.
Maybe a bit more. Depends.
What?
Maybe a bit more. Depends.
I don't understand how that answers my question.
You're essentially trying to get
Yes.
it to come to you. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, I don't know if this is actually quite what we want. So, handle an animal. This task involves commanding an animal to perform a task or trick that it knows. If the animal is wounded or has taken any non-lethal damage or ability score damage, the DC increases by 2. If your check succeeds, the animal performs the task or trick on its next action. That's not quite what I was thinking it was going to be. But I think it's the closest skill that comes to mind.
I mean, this task is to become a pet.
Right? So yeah, to teach it to come like when called is a DC 15. But I don't know, I mean I guess you are kind of trying to teach it, sort of. What was it was a 9 total for your roll?
Yeah. No, it was a 9 plus 6.
Oh. Well, that changes things entirely. It definitely takes some cajoling. You have to...
I'm sorry, an 8 plus 6.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh.
No, it's a 9. I saw this.
So you, you kind of sort of get it to come a little bit closer. It's kind of sniffing the air, and it comes part way to you. but it like sees the big group of people, or whatever. But that would be probably your inference, and kind of like skitters off back to the edge of the trees. So it doesn't like.
Can I double down before it starts to get skitterish at like a harder difficulty?
Sure. Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't like fully flee, but it like kind of runs back to where it was. So yeah, we can say you can try again at a, I don't know, 20.
Ooh,
No.
we tried.
It's gone.
Yeah, you're like, wait, no, and you like try and it's like when you're, I don't know, I can't think of like a good example, but like your pet like starts to do something that you don't want it to do, and then you accidentally like react too loudly or too harshly, and then it like freaks out and like takes off into the forest.
You can take my full ration, and I'll take your half.
Okay.
We'll just buy you one when we get to town. Sure, you could buy pets.
Alan dies sadly munching his trail mix.
All right.
Yeah.
Onward.
Otherwise, the rest of your traveling for that day winds down with relative ease. You do have to travel a bit later than normal because you started a bit later than normal. So it's probably 8 o'clock or so by the time you're kind of looking for a spot to wind down the night. So it's not like super late, but it's like dusk.
Since we were a large group, I start setting up the tent and campfire and all that.
Did we move any
pizzazz.
further down the road, or are we still where we were?
Well, yeah, we're just standing here because it's a spot that's in the middle of trees, so it looks kind of thematic. So close to them having a whale of a time. All right, and somebody make me a survival check while Alan Dight's setting up the tent.
Just one person?
I mean, I guess really anybody who's... I'll say if you're helping Alan Dight, then you're too preoccupied, but otherwise you can roll.
I got 7.
I'll help with the tent.
Is the survival check to find a place?
Just grab that pole there, stick it over there.
I'll tell you what the
and
survival check
top.
is for after you make it.
For survival, I got 10.
I got 2. Too busy talking to the gnomes.
Yeah, a little too busy trying to, I would imagine Rubato especially is perhaps a little distracted with trying to cheer Brigitte up with some lighthearted flirting.
Yeah, not all of them, but maybe a hint more towards Brigitte. Yeah.
And everybody's just kind of a bit too busy. It's been a busy day. You have a lot on your minds. But those of you that are maybe working with the tent, you notice that the wind does seem to be picking back up again a bit.
I wonder what Capstone looks like right now.
What, sweetie?
I wonder what Capstone looks like right now.
We'll find out tomorrow.
It is a bit concerning.
Those funnel thingies look really close.
All right. Otherwise, it doesn't. Well, actually, I guess let me double check that. But I don't think it does anything to like hinder your setting up of camp or anything like that. Oh, actually, I forgot there's a third roll for that particular thing, which determines severity. Okay, yeah, so there's a fairly strong wind. It's probably 10 to 15 miles an hour as it's picking up. So it's, you can still kind of get a tent like near some trees and kind of get it protected and whatever, but any sort of fire, if you want to light a fire, you'd have to find some sort of a way to protect it, like build a chimney fire or do something. You know, it couldn't just be like throw a few sticks in a circle and strike your flint at them.
I'm sure we could stick the tent in front of the fire and shelter it a bit without it blowing in and have it.
Roll survival to see if you know how far away to put the fire from the tent so it doesn't burn down. Let's put it inside the tent, guys.
And nothing can
Or
go
me.
wrong. Exactly, Orar agrees. All right, but yes, otherwise, you know, maybe it takes an extra half an hour or so to set up some camp and find a way to get a fire going in a way that's protected and whatnot. But probably by 9 o'clock or so, you get things kind of wound down to a reasonably good campsite for this many people. You guys haven't traveled with this large of a group before. And right around the time that you do, it picks up rain. So unfortunately, the fire is probably kind of a no-go either way.
Start roasting the rest of my nuts. Oh.
So it's unfortunately probably going to squelch, other than for whoever you're going to let in the tent, you know, right? Who's going to be the in the cool kids club here? You'll have to decide that. But anybody who's not in the tent is probably more concerned with getting comfortable than they are with trying to carry on any sort of meaningful conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I no longer have a sleeping role. So if it's okay, I'd like to be in the tent. Plus, I have some sensitive parchment with me.
I have a cold weather outfit, a winter blanket, and a bedroll, so I should be fine. Although those are all very absorbent.
Yeah, but it's not like you're winter camping here. I don't think we need to get too much into the minutia of that. You can go be broody.
Once I get set up in the tent, though, I would like to take another look at that book and cast Read Magic.
Okay.
We can get into the details on that later, though.
Yeah. Yeah, just remind me at some point here.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else have any downtime activities or any particular chatting that they want to try and accomplish, or can we fade to black and move on?
Oh, it's raining. Never mind.
Yeah. And pretty windy still, so it's definitely not a super fun group camping experience here.
All right, gnomes, come cuddle up to me.
I don't
here
know
in
what
the
is
tent.
showing up or why, sweetie, but there's some kind of that whatever that document is showing up on stream for some reason.
Yeah, I was just trying to. Gosh,
That's super weird.
It's my notes for the campaign.
You're not like display capturing. I don't know why that's happening.
I don't know either. Hang on. Let me deal with it. Is that better?
It's still showing just a teeny bit. If you can get it to the right just a little bit more. Or, sorry, I guess it would be to the left. Yeah. Off screen. There you go. Yeah, we'll have to look into that. I don't know why that's happening. That definitely shouldn't be a thing. Okay. So, yeah, you guys, pretty cordially managed to sort out who is and isn't going to be in the tent. Rubato maybe a little chivalrously make sure he gets a spot, but it's, everyone's kind of had this shared experience today, so nobody's putting up much of a fight about it. It thunders for an hour or two. and then subsides into normal rain. Are we doing watches, or how do we feel about that?
I figure the ones outside the tent are watching and then rotate halfway through the night.
Yeah, it's probably the best idea.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
During my watch, I don't know if that works. I would have my lantern going for part of it, just enough light so that I could see and write in my journal as I have the blanket thrown over my head.
Okay.
Just writing everything in the journal that's happened today and previous days.
Oh no!
What?
Pour one out for my homies. The deal with it glasses just broke.
Oh. Sure we can't fix them?
Oh.
That's very sad. I would be shocked if that was glueable with the way that it broke.
No, we do have a hot glue gun.
Don't worry, I'll fix it.
Crap, that sucks. I wasn't even
Oculus repair?
doing anything with it. I was pretty much just holding it and opening and closing the hinge gently.
Like how your actual glasses broke that one time?
Well, no, that was a different issue. There was, not maliciously, but there was force being applied there.
True.
Okay, so as far as anybody can tell, among all the ruckus at least, the night passes otherwise uneventfully. That's weird, my monitor just flashed. Oculus repair, yeah, exactly. And you guys wake up the morning of the 18th of mid-spring now. It's still windy and overcast, but the rain has subsided. And the wind has lessened as well. Probably like a 5-mile-an-hour wind.
I'll pack up the tent since I did use it after all.
Okay. Well,
For
and
the
it's like
first
a 4-person tent, right?
Yeah, with gnomes, that's like 15.
Amazing. You're actually not entirely wrong.
I know. No
Okay.
clue action. No clue action.
Go ahead, Ava, make us another survival check to navigate the rest of the way home here.
Sounds good. 19.
Nice. Okay.
Beautiful.
Having gotten a little bit closer to territories and landmarks that you're a little bit more used to working around, you're feeling even more confident about your navigation here. Certainly not going to be any time lost for missteps or anything like that. Okay. And really, actually, with that, not having any significant impediment from weather or navigation or anything else, there's no random encounters. Normal foresty stuff. You see a deer like way off and, that kind of thing, but nothing that's hindrance. And, around dinner, mealtime, supper time, whatever, you get within sight of the palisade walls of Capstone.
Wonderful. I will escort you to the funeral rites and service as I'm talking to the gnomes, and funeral rites and services director of the church and have them tend to your loss.
I make a beeline for the guild. I just take off.
Okay.
Where do I want to take this rug?
So it's actually worth considering. You know, I always kind of waffle on whether we want to spend a little bit of extra time at the end to wrap up in town, or whether we want to like start with town activities. How are you guys feeling? What are you thinking?
It's late.
I'm good to start with town stuff.
Okay. Well,
Okay,
and
that
it kind of
sounds
works
good.
too, since you guys actually ended up kind of beating feet and getting back plenty early. You actually have like a whole nother day. Well, not a whole nother day, because you got here at night, so you have a day to kind of do what you want to. So we can prep that off stream. That was awesome. Managed to make it out and back. Well, I guess the out part was last time, but managed to resolve that situation. Have our first kind of little mini dungeon delve there, and I think you guys did a really good job too of thinking and acting in character. Like, I really didn't have to manage any metagaming or anything, so good job, guys. It was fun. Thank you.
Yay.
Thanks, guys. That was a lot of fun.
Social stuff is always a little bit harder to pace, but I felt like if you break it up into encounters, you know, we had 3 or 4 encounters in a 4-hour session. Like, I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's a positive trend as far as our learning and playing together and pacing our streams and whatnot. So I'm super grateful to everybody who played with us, that, like I said, that watched, that made this happen. Thank you so much for coming and spending so much of your weekend with us. And everybody else that's here, whether you lurked, you chatted, you watched, of course, our players, huge thank you.